Hello, hello, and welcome to Illuminated Page. Thank you so much for joining us. I am your keeper of arcane lore, or the conductor on this Orient Express horrific passage. My name is Rue Thompson, and I'm here to welcome you to this game with all of my good friends, my bestest friends, my favoriteest people, some of my favoriteest people in the whole universe. I'll
People
get to
that she
them.
knows.
People that I know and enjoy talking to once, maybe a month. So, no, I'm joking. I'll get to them in a second. I just wanted to say thank you if you've been here with us all season, even though it's been kind of a herky jerky. We play sometimes, play not other times. Schedules, life, it's all been very real. And as we get into the holidays, we're actually cutting the season short tonight. So I hope that you enjoyed tonight. Thank you again for sticking with us. I believe this is episode 7 of season 2, and it will be our finale. And we will see you again sometime in the new year. I don't have a date on that yet, but keep an eye on your missives. I will send out a notice as soon as I have that information. But again, this is Illuminated Page Horror on the Orient Express. Thank you so much. Tonight, I am joined by the illustrious cast of investigators. And tonight, my friends, as you introduce yourself and your character, I would like to know, if your character was a bird, what bird would they be? I'll give you a minute to think about that. I do want to remind everybody that this is a Call of Cthulhu, Pulp Cthulhu 7th edition actual play. Therefore, there will be things that happen in this game that might be a little upsetting. Viewer discretion is advised. We are going to be dealing with some, it is a horror slash speculative content type of thing. So, if anything at any point starts to get to an area that makes you feel uncomfortable, please by all means close the window, leave. The VOD will be up later. You can and we'll put in appropriate trigger warnings and content warnings as they come up. I will try to bring those up if there are any. But yeah, never fear. Leave it. Keep yourself safe. That is all I ask, and I will do my best to give you that information ahead of time. So are we ready to introduce ourselves? Some of my favorite people in the universe. We're going to go reverse alphabetical order by your real names. And we're going to start with Sean.
Oh, I was doing last names. I'm like, I think that's me. Hi, I'm Sean. I play Kelsey Haskins, the group's locksmith, thief, possible person that does things that no one else wants to do, but that doesn't come up very often.
Not yet.
Not yet. If Kelsey was a bird,
If you were a bird, what kind of bird would you be?
probably a goose.
You silly goose.
Exactly, but you don't jack with a goose. You might laugh at them, they might look funny, but if you mess with them, they are going to mess you up.
All right. All right. Well, that is insightful. We will unpack that a little later. Next, alphabetically, I believe, takes us in reverse alphabetics. Takes us to Matthew.
Hi, I'm playing, Countess Johanna Rinaldi Stad. She's trouble walking around touching things. We'll get to see some of that tonight, hopefully. If she were a bird, thank you for making me look up birds. She'd be a mute swan because they're very pretty and lovely, but they'll kill you.
Okay.
Listen, I looked up most dangerous birds. It's number 8.
Okay, so it's not the most dangerous bird,
No,
but it is
no.
on a list with other dangerous birds, thereby making it also
Yeah,
dangerous.
yeah.
Um, sorry, I'm getting dice out. Um, Next in that list would be Alyssa.
Me.
You, my love, you.
Me. Hi, everyone. I am Alyssa, and I play Cleo Dandridge, the group's resident occultist and slapper of hands when people touch things.
True.
And
right.
if Cleo was a bird, she would be a raven.
Ooh.
because the raven in Irish folklore is thought to have been like a messenger from other worlds.
Mhm.
And she has a lot of kind of Celtic. That's kind of where her magic comes from, like
Nice.
druid, pagan, Celtic.
Nice, nice, nice. I was hoping we'd get some Corvid representation here at the table tonight. And then, last, but certainly not least, Ala, please introduce us and your character. And touch us
Well,
about
hello.
birds.
Yeah. Well, I am Ala, and I play Emily Bront, who is a veteran of the Great War, the party's babysitter, and also occasionally a hand slapper.
Yeah. Or a
And if
throat
she
throater.
were a bird, okay, that happened once, but
Sorry.
that we know of. If she were a bird, she would be the Andean condor, which is a very large, majestic bird. Not very attractive, but it is supposed to be the largest bird in the world, probably in terms of wingspan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice, nice.
And it will definitely kill someone if needed. But
if needed, it'll handle.
but they're pretty. They can be kind of chill.
Those things are huge. Jesus.
And they're fucking massive.
Yeah, Emily is giving us a size comparison for her.
Plus,
regarding the rest of the
when you're in
party.
danger, you'll throw up on people, right? Or is that just
If-
full
Is
yeah.
that what condors do?
Oh, that's horrible imagery.
Yeah, so I wavered between what kind of bird would you be, and then at the beginning of one of my favorite albums of yesteryear, there's just a little soundbite that says, "If you were a ship, what ship would you be?" And I almost asked you guys what shape you'd be. So be thinking about that in the off season, because season premiere will happen at some point, and I'm gonna be like, you're gonna have to give me something better than squares and triangles, because I know y'all squares, but give me something, give me them them their shapes.
At first,
If
I
you
thought
wa-
you said ship.
I
And
did
was
too. I'm like,
Well, and it was a really bad accent. It was, if you were a ship, what ship would you be? That's how they say it on the album. I'll just, if you were one of the 7 core polyhedral dice shapes, which one of the core 7? You couldn't say the same one. You'd all have to be different. I'd enforce it. So just be thinking about that. Are you? This is what I want you to do to develop your characters. Figure out their psyche. Anyway, last time we met, it's been what, 3 weeks ago now, I believe. We've had a holiday in there. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday if you celebrate one. And we have some holidays coming up, and I hope that you have fun during those times. And if you don't, come and hang out with us on the Discord, because there are many of us that don't do the holiday thing, and we don't do the family thing, and we don't do a lot of things except for be there for everybody else who doesn't do a lot of things. So, but 3 weeks ago, we had some excitement with the party when we stopped, and I want one of my people to volunteer to give me a recap of where we are in Milan. Is that not it?
I'll do it.
Alyssa, I knew
I
it
see
was gonna
everybody
be-
like doing this. I'm like, I'll do it.
Sean was checking his notes, I think, but I will definitely thank you, Alyssa, for volunteering.
You're welcome.
Brass,
So
all of you.
we went off to figure out where Katerina had been taken.
Correct.
Hopefully finding, I don't know, any more information about that. We I can't remember if we talked to, what was his name? Brizio? If that was last session or the session before. He was in charge of the investigation.
Oh yeah. Investigator Brizio. Yeah, he was. You talked to him 2 sessions ago, technically.
Okay.
I
I couldn't
just
remember
fixed
where
it.
my notes.
Yeah.
My
no
notes
worries,
are
no
all
worries.
a blurb, but we
No,
we
you-
went to the opera house. Basically, we were bumping around backstage and trying to talk to stagehands, and we found ourselves like the mood and energy. There was sadness and confusion. There were pictures of Katerina everywhere, and everyone seemed sad that she was missing, but also kind of frustrated as they were trying to organize the show without their star. And then we found ourselves in the costumes department because we found out that their costume designer at the theater, they had been through, I don't know, an egregious amount of them who'd only stayed a couple of months at a time because they kept getting sick. because of the what did they call it, the costumier curse or something.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Um,
Precisely.
Precisely.
Precisement.
Um, there's a ghost voice that's heard in the theater. We found out at night. There was a moment where you asked about people that knew about theater, and I got really excited and raised my hand. I suppose to Cleo knowing anything.
Yep, that's true. I
That was a
should have been
moment.
more specific, but I'm glad that that's in your notes. Thank you.
Um, it's not in my notes. I
Oh,
just remember it happening.
It's just a
Burned into her
memorable moment.
consciousness.
Burned into my brain. And so we found out that maybe we needed to talk to the prop master, but nobody could find him because he was running around doing stuff. It's not that anyone could find him, but he was too busy. And so we left and we went to because we were trying to find a mannequin from the prop guy.
Yeah, a
This,
creepy
like,
mannequin.
Yeah, a creepy mannequin that we thought maybe was the torso of the simulacrum. But then we ended up leaving because we couldn't get the attention of the prop guy, and we went to the house. I cannot remember the name of the guy whose house we went to.
His name
Conti.
Conti. Yeah.
Conti.
Franco.
We went
maybe?
to his house because he supposedly had tuberculosis, but then suddenly magically recovered. And when he opened his door, we realized that the entire house was freezing because all of his windows were weirdly open, and he was doing fine but kind of weird, and then took us back to his office, and Cleo said something a little shifty, and now he has a gun pointed at us.
Now he has a gun pointed at you. His name was Flavio. I forgot. It was
Flavio.
Flavio. One of my favorite names because, again, that Perry Mason episode. Flavia. Flavia. Charles killed Flavia. But this is Flavio Conti. Yes, he had tuberculosis, has miraculously recovered, has the windows open in his estate.
And
As
has that
he-
Alfa Romero?
Alfa
Mhm.
Romeo.
A
Romeo.
brand new Alfa
Alfa
Romeo.
Romeo.
A
at
brand
that in his
new
garage.
black Alfa Romeo RL in his garage.
Which did
Um,
match the car that picked up our soprano.
It did indeed. It did indeed. So
We're a little concerned he has her lungs.
We're
Well, he
orphans.
got better before she went missing.
That's true. That's true.
yeah, because
theory.
it was in the paper. You got this gentleman's name from a handout that I did not give you, but a newspaper article that said a welcome return, and it detailed the return of Flavio Conti, who is a patron of the La Scala theater, and yeah, you guys thought it was rather suspicious that he had tuberculosis and somehow has made a full recovery. Clearly, the doctors were misled and misdiagnosed his issues. And then, yeah, you
Did
all
they?
showed up. He allowed you in and wasn't sure what your deal was and invited you back to his office. And Cleo was like, hey, that's a Celtic Huda Hudabada. And I can't remember what you said exactly. You listed off some pottery and
She bullshitted
and
because it
Conti's
wasn't that at
like,
all.
I bought that at a Hobby Lobby 3 weeks ago, and they stole it legitimately from Israel. So I don't know what you're talking about. So,
People shitted on purpose just to make him show his true colors.
yeah,
And
so
he did with a gun.
And he did.
He did. He whipped out a 38 revolver. Those of you that have knowledge in such things would recognize it.
Which is a
Um,
very fine size revolver.
I mean,
For
it's
those of us that care.
it's not. It's never about the size. It's about how you use it.
I mean, it'll
and,
still kill someone.
His goal with whipping it out is absolutely to shoot his shot, and he's going to he's leveling it at probably Cleo specifically right now. So there you are, the four of you in this office, surrounded by what looks to be the trappings of a very culturally invested gentleman. There's fine art. There's lots of fine literature on his shelves. He keeps a clean and tidy desk. He does not look as clean and tidy at the moment. Again, his shirt is unbuttoned. He is looking gaunt. He did have something that was believed to be tuberculosis for quite some time. So he is showing the effects of being ill. Um, you don't even need a roll to figure out that the four of you could probably easily handle this, gun or no gun. But he says, I don't know why you're here. But and I don't like the questions you're asking. So if you just would state plainly your business, we can end this peacefully. No.
Well, Mr. Conti, it's our understanding that you were an associate of. What's the singer's name? Matt is.
Caterina Cavallaro.
Obviously, I giggled it out earlier when you guys were talking about guns. Um,
That's all right. Caterina Cavallaro.
you were an associate of Ms. Cavallaro, and we thought that you might have information about her personal contacts, perhaps someone that might have picked her up from the air or from the train station. And I'm gonna like lay it on thick and smile and bat my eyes at him.
At the mention of Caterina Cavallaro, he visibly he give me a psychology roll. Give me one of them psych rolls. I know Alyssa, you don't make the psychology roll, but give me psychoanalysis.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I got a hard success.
regular success.
Regular success.
Nice.
Hard success.
Right on. You all are noticing that he is beginning to crack under the pressure of whatever this is. You had probably noticed a few kind of nervous tics before. Now that he's out here and he's gotten to the point that he's pulled the gun, the mention of Katerina has set him off, and this will devolve quickly into combat. And he stands and levels the gun, and but we're gonna go ahead and do normal dex based stuff. Which one of you has the highest dex?
Assuming it was Kelsey.
I think
Yeah.
I got an 85.
There's like an 85, an 80, a 75, and a 70.
I'm the 85.
I'm the 80.
I'm the 75.
Yeah, that makes me the 70.
Okay. He's like I knew that you no, and his let me see what his is, because he's a frail old git. I don't think it's much.
130. An elder.
He's got quick draw.
He's got a super swifty 45. So Kelsey, what are you going to do?
One
Please
second, I'm
declare
trying-
thine action, good sir.
Yeah. Ugh. Getting shooty's gonna be too loud.
Well, I'll tell you right now, a gun is going off,
Either way. Yeah.
whether
then
you shoot it or don't.
I
So
because
if that changes your mindset,
no. We'll figure out how to take care of that later. As soon as Cleo started questioning him, I had my hand going into my jacket when he popped up with the gun, so I'm just gonna pull it out, shoot him.
okay. All right. Then go ahead and roll your shooting roll.
Tell me what a 0, and a 2 means. Is that
It's a
a
2.
super extreme?
That's a 2.
That's an extreme. It's likely
Yeah.
an extreme success. I don't know what your firearm skill is, but I assume it's good enough that is an exceptional success.
Yeah, it's under 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, so I did really well.
Okay. Give me that damage roll.
Do I get bonus damage on an extreme?
No.
I think there's a Pierce, isn't there?
There is, but only on crits.
Oh man.
The grades of success matter more for fighting back and dodging
Yeah.
than anything else.
5.
5?
Just
5 whole points?
You
Yeah.
winged him.
Well, I'll be honest with you. He did just have tuberculosis, um, and was caught off guard because he was more focused on Cleo and Johanna. So when the gun comes out, he doesn't have dodge worth fuck either. So he's not even gonna try because he is, like I said, he's frail. He's gaunt. That bullet tags him pretty solidly, and he stumbles backwards and falls behind the desk. Um, would anyone like to do something else? Next in line would be Emily.
Yeah, Emily would like to get sort of behind the desk and disarm him.
Okay.
And
Okay.
hopefully, if he's not like shot through the head,
He's not. He's
stabilize him.
shot
But
more center mass.
yeah, I think primarily it would just be to immobilize him from attempting any further.
Okay. He's back there.
mishaps.
So as you round the desk, you see him laying on the ground, and he is looks visibly stunned. He is bleeding profusely. It looks like one of the. It looks like the bullet managed to. It hit a little high on the left side. Um, uh, if you do, go ahead and give me that. It's first aid that you have, correct? Not medicine.
Yes, I have medicine as well, but first aid.
First
probably
aid is
more
more
accurate here.
appropriate right now.
Yeah.
And you can at
It's
least
like I
give
just got these lungs.
yeah.
It is a hard success.
Okay, so you definitely hear it sounds like a sucking chest wound. It has punctured one of his brand new gas bags. But he is the blood is pooling very quickly. It is coming out of him at an alarming rate. And he is laying there. The gun is nearby, but his hands are just kind of up as he looks in shock, honestly. And he was like, but I cannot die. A brother of the skin cannot die. And
Looks like
he
you're doing a pretty good job of it.
slips away very quickly.
Well, that is unfortunate. Maybe next time just shoot for the hand.
Or just take the gun from him.
Considering Cleo was just in front of him, that was the best thing to do because he was going to shoot her.
Oops.
Oops.
Well,
We're in his study office, right?
Yeah, you're like in his private.
I'm gonna go ahead and barricade the door with myself.
And I want to look through what's on the desk and like the doors and making sure that you did take his gun, right, Emily?
No, it's next to him. If you want to, I think I need to prevent any staff from getting in here.
That's okay. I'll just kick it away from him while I'm doing that.
That's fine.
Just see if I can find anything there that is, I don't know, telling where he got his lungs from. A signed contract with a demon.
Okay, so you're searching his desk.
Yeah.
Okay,
On a
yeah.
parchment made of skin.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah.
Whoever would be searching, whoever would be searching. Sorry, whoever would be searching the office, please, by all means, go. I'm not even going to make you do a strength roll or anything, Emily. I know you've got that door well in hand. Anybody who would be doing any searches, go ahead and give me that spot hidden. And
I'm gonna be looking around the office, moving towards the window as I do, just to see anything out there.
Ooh, that's a hard success.
and suddenly Conti goes, no. No, all is well.
Yeah, I got a
All is
success.
Hard success.
Okay. You rifle through his drawers, his desk ones, and you find some documentation. You find you do find an Orient Express timetable as one of the items that he has there, with the Milan arrival time circled. You find a diary of business contacts that you flip through. The most recent name and number is for a fascia. Did any of you search him specifically? Okay, we'll take your success to be a search of Conti. Opening the rest of his shirt, you do see, even despite the blood is mostly coming out of the back, but there is some up here. But you do see the fresh scarring around his lungs. Yeah, you see fresh scarring around his lungs. If you have those of you that have concluded that he's had an organ transplant, I need a sanity roll.
I didn't need that. Oh, hey, that's 5. I'm good. I succeed.
Oh, a
Just
D4.
because it looks gnarly, or because it's ominous?
Ominous that he's had a lung transplant. And...
How?
Because
Was
they
that-
weren't coming back then.
I was gonna say, was that even something that was really successfully done back then?
I have no idea.
My sanity 70 is 75, and I hit 75 on my roll.
Okay, that's fine.
So regular, or is that even a success, or is that kind of
That's a
failure?
success. Yeah.
Okay.
You just have to hit it or below.
Below.
So did everybody? I guess you probably wouldn't need to, Emily, because you've seen some gnarly shit. But
Hardened also basically is like most human body horror doesn't phase me, but
Well,
I
it
also
also should be noted that lungs weren't transplanted until the 40s.
yeah, so this is
So
an
this would be
impossible.
Like very surprising.
It's considered an impossible transplant according to the text. So those of you, did you all succeed your sanity rolls? If you succeeded, you don't lose any. If you did fail, then it's a 1d4. So,
Well, that's new.
What is?
I don't
lung
believe
transplant.
that
A lung transplant.
transplants. Yeah.
No, I know. I was
Oh.
trying to say it in character.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I was responding in
Cleo,
character.
Cleo just like
That's my bad.
gestures to
I
the.
didn't respond in character.
Lung
That's my fault.
transplants
That-
are theoretical medicine, I believe. I don't think that any have been attempted even.
Well, this one has.
Apparently successfully too.
Well, temporarily at least.
Does he have any like skin patches, like skin that's been transplanted, like the Patchwork King or whatever he was? The
Jigsaw
Well,
prince
Jigsaw
or whatever.
Prince.
Jigsaw
Prince, yeah.
Prince. If the search of his body removes more of his clothing, no, it's just the fresh scarring around
Okay.
his lungs.
I'm just curious.
And you definitely see, once the shirt is opened, you see the ravages of tuberculosis. I mean, he is a very frail man.
The name in the contact book, the newest one.
Faccia,
What language is that in?
Italian,
Okay.
Faccia.
Okay.
Go ahead. Give me an idea. Anybody who wants to give me an idea roll.
No, nice. That's a success.
regular success.
Hard success. Dang, I like
Hard
these dice
success.
today.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
You might remember, going back to the article that gave you the name of Flavio Conti, there was another patron of the opera house by the name of Arturo Faccia.
Does it have a number? I assume.
It does.
I'll
Can you
write.
spell Faccia again real quick? Rusty?
Faccia.
I will
That's
write
close.
that down really quick.
Okay.
Nothing
it
else
is-
really in the desk worth noting.
Not really. No, everything else is things that you would expect for someone who's been, like, you may find some medical bills, or some medical diagnoses detailing his tuberculosis. But really, a lot of it is just dealing with the opera house. You find some, like, they wouldn't be playbills, but something similar for other performances, financial records of his support of the opera house, things like that.
Emily, I'm going to assume that because you're not treating him, he's dead or going to die quickly.
He passed already. That's my French, but yes.
I was like,
he passed already.
Nanette, you shouldn't have.
Do we hear any screaming from the rest of the house because of the gunshot?
No.
Or is it eerily quiet at this point?
Yeah, it's eerily quiet. Where he led you off to, there weren't any servants.
They're celebrating somewhere. They heard it and they
They're
were
like,
like,
oh
yes!
god, I hope they killed that bastard. It's fucking cold in here. It's January in Italy.
I mean, probably unnecessary. Would it be able to tell approximately how long ago his surgery, based on like the amount
It's-
of healing that has
It's
happened?
very fresh. like 2 days, maybe.
Like still with stitches or?
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh wow.
yeah.
It shouldn't be up
It's
and walking around even.
no, it's very fresh.
I don't think it's Miss Cavalera's lungs in him, but perhaps he traded her for
Lungs.
lungs of someone's lungs.
I go ahead, Mister.
As you say, at this point, I think our next step is that phone number, Arturo Facci.
And we should do that from somewhere else, and we should get there quickly. I'm
And we should
concerned
move.
that black shirts might show at any moment.
So the four of you gather up. You slip out of the room. The servants are not paying you a whole lot of mind.
Are their eyes glassed over or anything?
No.
Okay.
They're just I mean, you don't see very many. At this point you didn't see, like, it's not like there was like a staff of like 30 or something bustling about. There was a couple that were like, oh, it's fucking cold. It's like a butler and a maid, and they were like in their jackets, and you really don't see anybody. Like, nobody comes out to show you out or anything. They're probably huddled by a fire somewhere.
Is it possible to close and lock his office door without being stuck in there?
Sure, yeah.
Definitely possible.
I mean,
that'll
if
delay
it,
anything.
if it has, I'm going to assume that if it has a keyhole on the outside, that someone who has any kind of skills in locksmithing may be able to just do a little.
Only we had a locksmith and not
Only
a
we
thief.
had a locksmith and not a thief.
Well, let's see how we can accomplish that. Let's see. Yeah, that's locked.
Okay.
It's a regular success.
Then, yeah. So the four of you kind of slip out without much ado. The staff either don't care that a gunshot has gone off, or, buddy, I love you, but this is not gonna work. Sorry, I have a kitty. But they probably heard something, but it was just one, and there was no like further screaming or further. So who knows? Maybe they just thought it was a thump. But you are able to gather yourselves and slip away, leaving his office locked, and for someone else to find when he starts to smell.
Although with the cold, he may not. That
He
may
may
take
not.
a while.
I mean, the windows are
Yeah.
open. He may
They'll
just.
find him next spring.
Now, at least by
So-
payday when he doesn't show up with their money.
Right,
Let's start
yeah.
looking for him.
Yeah, this is before the era of direct deposit. At least I think it is. I'm going to send you all back to your hotel rooms to have your conference. So yes, if you, and then there you can also relook at the that article in the newspaper that you saw this morning. See the name of Arturo Faccia listed as one of the patrons of the Opera House. And it is pretty late. This was evening when you went to go see Conti after you you spent your afternoon at the Opera House. So it would be about the time that you probably want to retire anyway. I don't know if you really wanted to go and check out Faccia's house at this hour.
Did we check out the car in his garage that is open?
Sure.
Mostly, I just want to see if there's long feminine hair in there.
Okay, go ahead and give me a spot hidden, and let's see what you find there.
Do you want help with that roll?
If you want to give it, sure. Won't turn it down. You've got eagle eyes.
Oh, that's right. I also have advantage. I always forget.
It was a hard success for me.
That's the extreme success out of 17.
Oh, okay, yeah. You guys kind of go over that Alfa Romeo RL with a fine-tooth comb, and it is a beautiful, beautiful vehicle with the finest Corinthian leather in the seats, and it's a lovely car. And you do find a hair or two matching what would remind you of Miss Cavallaro's hair. You actually get a hint of her very unique perfume that was like kind of an exotic blend of like amber and that one that I can't say, that I think sounds like a 50s doo-wop song, but it's like Elong Elong. but Ylang
Ylang,
Ylang.
Ylang? You like
Ylang Ylang. Ylang Ylang. But yeah, you get and you remember her perfume from when you were there. She also with that extreme success, I'm gonna say that as you're kind of like picking over the back seat in the passenger areas, you actually do find a uh a small ankh on a chain that you do recall that she did wear the night that she serenaded you with the aria from Aida there on the train.
Other than the missing necklace, we're not seeing any kind of or not missing other than the necklace, we're not seeing any signs of struggle. It's not like the leather's all torn up from a
No, not at
fight
all.
or. Okay.
Not at all. No blood, no signs of a struggle. The car looks immaculately kept.
Would it once we get back to the hotel, would it be possible to get a hold of someone at the opera and find out where Mr. Faccia's box is? I assume he has a box if he's a patron.
Yeah, you could. I don't know that anybody would be at the opera house at this time that would be answering the phones.
That's fair.
It is evening. But that is definitely something you could do in the morning.
Are we going? Are we going to the opera tonight?
It's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Okay. Okay.
Opening day is tomorrow night.
No, that's
so,
perfect. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yes. So you
we
go
could
back
also
to.
call the police potentially, and
Could.
here's just since he was willing to work with us, just to see if he has any information on this other person. Let's just say he's a person of interest.
Would you like to do that?
You know what? No, you're absolutely right. That is my own personal bias coming through. We should definitely work with the police. There's no reason not to.
Except how are we going to tell that we found the connection other than the newspaper article, which the police would already be aware of? I mean, we're not going to say that we went and talked to Mr. Conti, are we? Because that is going to be a big mistake.
No, we don't have to disclose where we got our information. Just that we are following some leads that we have received through our investigations today, and seeing if they have any information they might be willing to share with us about this person, who may be completely innocent. We're just wanting to be thorough. We're investigating all the patrons.
Okay.
Because this was someone she was familiar with enough to get into a car. And theoretically, it's somebody wealthy, probably male.
Okay.
I mean, that's absolutely fine. If I will go ahead and say that you do make that phone call, and Detective Brizio, you are forwarded to Detective Brizio David's home number, and or you were given it. Are you handling this call, Emily?
I can. Usually Johanna is our talker, but
I mean, if you're just giving information,
yeah.
he said, oh well, all right, you have this is a lead that you've come across, this Mr. Faccia.
We are hoping it is, but again, we are fairly new to the area, and we are still trying to get our bearings and learning who all are the players potentially involved here.
The idea of it being an opera patron is something that had been discussed. We were trying to locate the vehicle, but have not had luck in that so far. But there has been a lot of turmoil and upset in the city of late, so we're spread a little thin. But thank you for this information. I will take that down. Please let me know if you find anything else out.
Do you have any information about this individual?
Faccia?
Yes. 'Cause we don't know anything about them, I'm presuming.
Sure. Faccia, he goes on. He kind of describes. He's an old man, gaunt. I mean, he's known, but not necessarily favorably. He's an old rich man. Loves the opera. As I've heard some rumors about
Why
him.
would you say not favorably?
He's a little off. in the head. He's not all there anymore. But I mean it. I don't mean it. I don't mean it rudely or anything. I just he is tolerated in society because of his money, but he is a little eccentric, is the word that I should use.
Well, thank you for the information. We will see if we find anything else out tomorrow. Thank you for your time. Hopefully we did not interrupt dinner.
Oh, no, no, thank you. Yes, have a good evening. And if you find anything else, let me know. And I appreciate the help. So, this evening in the hotel, unless somebody really wants to go and do something else, I'm going to say that the four of you retire for the evening. And you are asleep for maybe 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours, and I want listen checks from everyone.
Is it time for our night vampire visit?
Regular success for me.
No.
You sure?
Let me have some surprises, Allah. Thanks. Get out of my note. Just hold up a hand if you succeeded. It doesn't matter what level. Johanna is sleeping like a fucking rock. Johanna's
Like
out.
a princess.
Like
Yes.
a princess.
We
like
know
a,
this
like
about her, though.
a 22-year-old princess. She's
Yeah.
like, bitch, yeah, I'm out.
The
My
help will take care
conscience
of
is
it.
clear. I don't have any problems. I didn't shoot a man today.
Yeah,
I
I
watched
didn't.
him die.
This
It
is
was
why we
wonderful.
pay Kelsey
That's
to
right.
do the things no one else will do.
Yep.
Except I think your kill count's higher than mine.
Are we counting the war?
Oh, no, yeah. If we're counting backstories, let's just lay it out.
Well, but if we're counting old ladies he's picked up, then
yeah. If we're counting Lady
Yeah,
Killer,
different kind of body
Technically-
count.
if we're counting
Technically-
Lady Killer, then
Technically never picked up, just some flirting.
no, just little flirts. Never lifted them off their feet. Anyway.
That's strong enough for that.
Anyway. Those of you that succeeded on your listen roll, you are awoken to the sound of a beautiful and very familiar aria. A voice is carrying easily through the Galleria, wherein your hotel is located. Clear and crisply clear. It sounds exactly like Katarina Cavallaro.
Do we have a window that looks down into that?
Absolutely. Yeah, you have remember you have looking out.
Oh,
There's
that's
you
right.
can look down on the city and there's some statues, and then you can look up and there's a huge mural of Aida. And yeah, it's
I'm gonna
it's-
run to our window and see if I can see her. Or
Yeah,
see
does
who
it
whoever's
sound
singing.
like it's coming over a radio or?
no, it sounds like someone's out there singing. And they are singing Ritorno Vincento, the same aria from Aida that she did perform for you on the train, and it sounds as beautiful, if not more, it's a little eerie, just because of the echo through the stone. But you
Also, the
don't
fact that she's missing.
I
I mean, that minor weirdness.
clear. I mean, she's just you just don't know where she is.
That's kind of the definition of missing.
This is the most elaborate kind of marketing campaign for this opera we have ever seen.
You actually see as you look down, Kelsey, right? It's all that viral marketing. You see a few people like coming out of the buildings. It is very late, but you see people coming out of like the hotel, and hearing it and looking, kind of starting to look around. And if you too decide to go downstairs and out into the Galleria to look around, you absolutely can. You can the way that the it is echoing off the tall buildings and the cobblestone streets, it is a little hard to discern where it comes from. But if you give me another listen roll when you're down, if you go downstairs and you go outside, go ahead and give me another listen roll, and see what you can see if you can follow your ears. Oh, let's go!
Which is great because I just got a regular success.
Nice.
I'm still upstairs sleeping.
That's right. Unless somebody,
I'll wake Johanna up.
Yeah,
and
I was just
get her
anticipating
coat on her.
someone.
Like
Come on,
it's a whole
Mr. White.
process.
You're like rubbing her arms as you put the coat on, and you're like, "Wake up! It's all good. We'll get breakfast soon. It's very late. It's only
It's
like
January.
1
She
a.m."
probably bundles me up like the kid in Christmas Story.
Yeah, your
Walking
arms
up.
are like stuck out. You got your little cap on your toboggan. Yeah, it's very cute. So yeah, successful listen roll when y'all are downstairs. Cleo is like, oh, and she just, you don't know if it's part of your like medium abilities or what, but you're picking up on it very clearly, and it leads you down.
It's clearly her knowledge of theater.
Absolutely. She's like, so this echo can only be created off this type of stone in this angle, and so by this trajectory, you kind of go through the narrow streets and piazzas, and you end up. She leads Cleo. You take your friends to a particular alley that you're quite confident this must be where it was coming from. It has stopped in the time that it took you to search for it. And you kind of are... those of you that go down this alley, it's kind of dim. It's a narrow street. And you do also hear kind of a dry scuttling sound. Like... If you would like, give me a spot hidden.
Yeah.
Regular success.
Regular success.
I don't need to be aware of anything tonight. I'm just still half asleep, like rubbing sleep out of my eyes.
Man, the Sandman worked overtime already.
Didn't even get my hair brushed after coming out of bed.
Yeah.
Who
It was
does
either the
that?
Sandman or the fifth that she
Put a
drank
hat
before
on
she
you
went to
so
bed.
nobody sees you. She can't be seen like this. Hesfaza would kill me.
Did you get a success, Cleo?
Yes, regular. On the
Okay.
nose, actually.
Looking around, following the sound of that little scuttling sound, you locate, oddly, a chameleon hiding in the shadows. But he seems fairly harmless.
Sorry, a chameleon in the dead of
in-
winter?
In
Italy.
Okay, yeah, that also is a problem.
Yeah.
It
It's a
escaped from
chameleon.
the
What do you want to know? It's a chameleon, okay? It's a lizard with big eyes. It's you managed to see him with all them good eyeballs, and
should we put him in the sandwich box?
oh, he scuttles off. He's like, oh shit, and you can go after him if you want. Matt's like, no.
I mean,
Let
it's
the out of
weird,
season
but
lizard fuck off and die. I don't want.
Maybe someone
Do
lost their
not
pet.
want. Let me pull up the combat stats for the chameleon just a second.
Oh, look. He has a damage bonus of 4d6. Oh, no.
Oh, it's a demon.
Yeah, he scuttles off. Any further searching for the missing, or for the ghostly phantom voice of Katerina Cavallaro turns up very little. The aria can be heard starting again, but from a different
Yeah, because
place.
she's the chameleon.
I mean, that doesn't make sense.
I mean, doesn't it?
Neither do lung transplants, and yet here we are.
Here we are. But the four of you look for a while longer, and to no avail. And you don't see the chameleon again either.
Have I at this point heard any of the aria, or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So I
it
don't
is-
just think
it
that
is-
3 nut jobs woke me up in the middle of the night.
No. As soon
Okay.
as you're awake, you hear it.
Okay,
You're like,
that's fair.
oh, and
So-
like it may take you a second because you're groggy and tired, but you're like, oh, it's so lovely. Oh, wait, Um, but yeah, yes, Kelsey.
Really stupid question. When the aria starts up again, was it opposite from the direction that the chameleon scuttled off from? Like if we saw this chameleon scuttle, like
towards the
north,
sound? No,
yeah.
it
Okay.
the chameleon is going a completely different direction
Okay.
than where you're hearing the aria come from.
Or is it?
Maybe it's multiple chameleons.
Ooh.
So it's a whole host of chameleons. Just
Chameleon
What do you
singing.
king,
call a
if you
group
will.
of? Yeah. What do you call a group of them?
I don't know. Find out.
Like an opera of chameleons?
I hope so.
What is a group of chameleons called?
Looking it up.
So is John. Whoever
They're
can get there
they're
first
typically
wins.
solitary
camp.
creatures.
They're camps.
Oh my
What's it,
god,
camps?
camp of chameleons.
Camp of chameleons.
Yep.
There's a whole camp. Chameleon camp. Camp chameleon.
Chameleon camp.
That's the next bunkhouse P is gonna happen at Camp Chameleon. Don't at me.
Now, if you want to go more generic, I love this. A group of lizards is called a lounge.
Yeah.
Oh, John is mad that you beat him to it, Sean. He was going to.
Sorry, John.
Oh well. I mean, they do a lot of lounging. It is true.
Hard work being a lizard.
It is, and you just gotta find them hot stones and just sun. But so yeah, the four of you cannot find the source of the voice. The aria is heard at different times throughout the night, but you go back to your rooms and you sleep. And each of you do have have the strangest dreams of singing reptiles, but no further incident occurs. I had this whole dream where this frog jumped out of a man's chest and sang a wonderful ragtime show tune with a hat and a cane. All right. It's a new day. What are you doing?
I am
I'll
gonna
wake up.
call once I know that the opera house the box office should be open. I'll call and make inquiries about Facia's box.
Okie dokie. You also do see, I know, Emily, you'll read the newspaper, you do see if you remember when you talked to Paolo Ruscianti, he said he was the props manager, and he was like, yeah, and he talks about the costumier's curse. And they also mentioned the ghost voice that has been heard. So you do get to see that article. And it says that Aida will be proceeding with the understudy instead of Cavallaro. So you call and you inquire about Facia's box. You are given. Faccia does not, or he does have a box. He has not requested or picked up his tickets for tonight yet.
Suspicious.
But you do
Old
get
and
that
rich are we
information.
talking? Like,
Like, I mean, he's elderly. Oh, well, elderly in
Statistically.
1923. Elderly in 1923, he's the ripe old age of 67.
Yeah, but statistically, that's like the prime demographic for a cultist.
can I send a hand-delivered note to Faccia?
I mean, if you would like, what would you?
Something along the lines of, Mr. Faccia, my father has spoken of the good things he's heard of you. I know that you are a great patron of the opera, and I was hoping that I could meet you while there this evening. I hope to see you there. All the best, or whatever is the appropriate signatory, and then my full name and title.
Okay. You
Which
send
takes
that.
2.5 pages of paper.
Yeah.
Your full name and title.
It's the majority of the letter.
Yeah. So you send that. I assume you await a response. Or...
No, I don't actually care if there's a response. It's to
Okay.
get him to the theater, and that's all I care about.
Okay. Is there anything you would like to do this day? Or are you just kind of going to mill about Milan until you get to the...
If we're
Forget
not going,
That
I'm
was
sorry.
the dress dummy, or what we were assuming was the last we knew. They threw it away. Is that right?
Yeah,
There was you asked various people about that dummy, and there were some that were like, oh, I think it got thrown out, and some were like, I think somebody sold it, and I think somebody
Gotcha.
there was just a bunch of and you could not get a hold of the props manager to really ask him about the location.
The only concrete thing we had was the 3 elderly lady that worked in the costuming department were thrilled that it was moved out of there. That was the last
They
thing.
were
but we only
happy
had
that it wasn't in
concrete.
their
Okay.
room. Yeah.
I guess we mill about Milan until opera time, unless we want to go and see.
I mean, there are beautiful places. There is the Il Duomo Cathedral that you could look at. There's all kinds. You could go back to the opera house and see if you can get in, but it is opening night, opening day. So
Do we want to drive by?
you can assume it's going to
Faccia's
be
house?
quite a lot.
I think that driving by Faccia's house puts us in another situation where we are in a private location. I'd rather be in public with what sounds like a cultist. Like, if he's losing his mind, that only further adds to the idea that he's got something there.
Considering he was friends with, or
Conti?
associates with, Conti, I'm pretty much betting that
Yeah.
he is a cultist.
Yeah, and I don't like. We've already left one body. Maybe leaving another one would be a bad idea. Like, at least if we confront him in public, he has to squirm.
And there was no article or anything about, as far as you know, Flavio Conti has not been discovered.
Good.
If we're not going and looking at anything, I just generally want to spend the day like kind of looking over the books with Cleo, but
Okay.
nothing. We don't need to role play or anything. Just like
Nothing super exciting.
continue to like go through those.
I do want to at some point go see if Ophelia has returned my telegram that I sent her like
Mm-hmm.
1,000 years ago.
Well, you, the one from France.
No, I
Well-
sent her one from Milan. I sent her one that just said "The Power of Music?" ? Milan. But it was like
Oh.
3 sessions or 4 sessions.
Oh,
ago.
okay. I was like, but so it
Basically
was like
forever.
yesterday. It was yesterday in game time. But
Yeah.
it was like 3 sessions.
Everything was yesterday in game.
Nothing yet. I apologize. Nothing
We've played
yet.
That's
2
fine.
sessions and had 2 different days, which is better than the last 4 sessions, which were all over the same day.
Yeah. What are we? Are we on the 21st?
21st.
Wow.
Yep.
Look at us, guys. Look at us.
No time to
Moving
derail it.
along.
Moving along. You made it to the opening night of Aida. Yeah, no telegrams yet, Cleo. It has not been super long.
No.
But the telegraph operator, that's the word, does look quite busy, tapping out things. So maybe if you check back later, but low key, I'll get with you in the off season and we'll work all that stuff out. Just a little peek behind the curtains, audience. I hope you
No, it's
enjoy.
fine. I genuinely couldn't remember. I was like, I don't know how much game time has passed since I sent this.
Yeah, I think it's really just been a day.
Yeah, it's been very short.
It's-
And have you already
Um,
sent the? Sorry, I was thinking. Did you already send off the telegram asking about the mentorship, or did you need to do that today while you're there?
No, I haven't done that. I can punch that off to her. That's one of those things that's probably gonna like be a discussion. Like we're not gonna be able to talk about it over Telegram probably.
yeah,
But I can let her know it's coming.
for sure.
I'll tag along and send one off to the boss. Let him know where I'm at.
Right, nice. So you two are off sending textual messages to your friends back home, and the Europeans are spending the day in the apartment. Unless Emily, you're doing something different.
Well, we had tickets to this tonight's show, didn't we?
Absolutely.
So
You
yeah, I
have
guess we can just make sure
front
we
row
are.
seats to tonight's show.
Yeah, we better be ready for the show.
You like honestly, um if you're planning any kind of, now would be a good time to discuss what you're hoping to accomplish tonight at the opera. If it's locating what you presume to be the torso of the simulacrum, if it's potentially a confrontation with Arturo Faccia.
So the opera's going to be several hours, correct? Having never been to an opera, nor have I considered
It's
going
gonna
to an
be
opera.
Usually with an
probably like
intermission, yeah.
3 to 4 hours with an intermission. Yes.
So I think that we plan to.
Excuse me.
I'm going to plan to confront Faccia, even if it's get a feel for him. If it seems bad, back away. But do that for sure. And then I don't know. I feel like given the singing last night, something's going on that. I feel like something's going to happen during the show, so I'm willing to wait and see on some of that.
While you're in the room, does anybody look at any of the tour books, the guidebooks and stuff that is in the room there?
I mean, I would
Or
probably.
do you only look at the occult tomes? That's fine. I'm just trying to know what things you guys are doing to kill time for.
Well, everybody's
most of the day.
probably Cleo and the Countess are looking through.
I mean, they're
books.
great. They're great bathroom reads.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would probably Kelsey would idly flip through tour books,
Okay.
whatever's
Yeah,
there. Just
Yeah, you read about the Il Duomo, the huge Gothic cathedral that took 500 years to build, starting in 1387. It's pretty cool. You can actually see Il Duomo. You've seen it as you've gone around town. You can see it. You can see it in the distance from where you are. It's got some cool statues and things like that. If you did want to go visit it, let's see. Just a second. There's something I need to find, and I don't know what I did with it. Yeah, you find one that talks also about the main attractions of Milan: the Last Supper, the Sforza Castle, tons of churches and gardens. There's even one specifically on the or Teatro alla Scala, the Opera House. I'm gonna say you spend a little time with that one because it's you're gonna be headed there this evening, and even though you have gone through the backstage a little bit, Kelsey, you seem like the kind that would want to kind of get as much information about the location and possible histories and maybe other entrances, things like that, if there's a little map in it or anything like that. It is a well-thumbed little volume that you're looking at. It mentions all kinds of operatic lore. It attributes to Verdi an idea that singing along with an aria at La Scala can cause one's fondest wish to be granted. The book contains other drawings and illustrative photographic plates. One pertaining to costume design includes a picture of a small woman who you actually recognize, arranging a suit of armor on a very large dummy. So it's kind of interesting. It's all history of the opera house, and has some interesting tidbits, but nothing overt. I should have probably
And
made you
we
give me a
see
library.
the very large dummy, like beneath any of the armor, or is she in the armor kind of blocking what the dummy looks like?
I mean, yeah, the armor is on the dummy. It's kind of hard to
Okay.
see, but it is, compared to her size, it does seem very large. Larger than you might be expecting for such a thing.
and if I noticed that, I would just like, hey, look, I think that's the dummy we're looking for.
Wouldn't that be funny? Guys, look, wouldn't this be funny if it was the dummy we were looking for?
With the armor on it?
With armor on it. Well, I mean.
Well, at least we don't have to touch it then.
Yeah.
Give me a. It's not really a spot hidden, but give me, anybody who wants, as you're milling about the hotel room, give me a spot hidden. I'm gotta figure out where this was. There's something.
Hard success.
Same as these.
Give me a
Regular
second.
success.
Give me a second, y'all. Yes. So, found it. This isn't. Yeah. Anyway, looking out the window, you look down at the Galleria. You see again the places you were kind of searching through last night, and you look down. You see the people milling about. Milan looks pretty much the same. There is a little bit of a different buzz of energy just because this is the opening night of Aida, and people are very excited for that. Even with the shadow of Cavallero's disappearance hanging over. But the mural that you had seen before, which if you need a refresher on what the mural looked like, um, there was a mural of ancient Egypt, a man approaching a seated woman, and which is which you believe is probably a scene or referring to something happening in Aida, if any of you are familiar with the story there. But the mural now has been vandalized. Um, and now the Egyptian woman appears to be screaming at the approach of the Egyptian man, who now has something like a small monkey or perhaps a cat painted as sitting on his shoulder. Um, the mural is high above the balcony. You're looking up to see it from where your rooms are on the third floor, and it cannot be accessed without like if you were to try to go up there, Kelsey, you're assessing this. There would be no way to access it to try to investigate it further, or for whoever vandalized it to have been able to get up there without being in full view of everyone below.
Like
So,
full view, full scaffolding, like
Unless they were a chameleon.
Dun dun dun.
So is it only the woman that was vandalized? You said the man.
the
has
man
a
now
small cat?
has a small
Okay.
monkey or cat painted
Gotcha.
as sitting
That's
on
what it
his
was.
shoulder. But yeah, closer inspection is not possible just because of where it's located, and you don't see a good way to get up there.
Can we not tell
Um,
if it's a cat or a monkey because the cat has a people face like they used to paint all the time?
I
Well,
mean,
it might have a fez on. That way you can't tell if it's a cat or a monkey when it's got wearing a fez.
That's true.
Maybe it's
That's-
a chameleon.
I was gonna say, are we sure it's a monkey? Because is it just a badly painted chameleon?
Yeah.
Art. It's all how you see it in the eye of the beholder. So yeah, so that is kind of your day. Actually, you saw that, and then as you get ready to head, I assume you're getting ready to head to the opera house at some point, right? So you're
Mhm.
all dressed. And remember, it is the opera. Opera is formal. There
You know how to
is-
dress classy, bro. Come on.
Well,
I'm
you and I
reminding,
do.
I'm reminding Kelsey. and
Kelsey's been to the opera in the States with his boss, so I know how to dress for the opera.
That's not
and I'm
real opera.
reminding,
Not European.
I mean, Cleo, you are welcome to wear, whether you wish to wear a tux or a dress or whatever. But I'm sure Johanna and Emily would have been like, "Here, have some clothes."
Yeah.
Part of the day was getting clothes for Cleo
Yeah.
to wear
For
to the
sure.
opera.
Clothes for Cleo.
It
Like
doesn't
bullshit.
mean
We're
that
just gonna go sit down for 4 hours. Nobody's looking at
it.
watching a show.
Cleo
Everyone is looking.
I have
Cleo
feelings
is a
about how
girl after my own
formal
heart,
theater
because
is.
that's how I feel. I'm like, why do I have to dress up for this? I'm just gonna sit with little binoculars on my face.
You don't need
Oh, you dress
binoculars
up
if in front
for
row.
the. Yeah, you have to dress up for the intermission where you do your mingling with other distinguished
Oh,
guests.
Yeah.
and the entry too, because you mingle about before the performance starts.
That's right. That's right. You have to hobnobbin, and you have to be dressed for hobnobbin. But
Yeah. From what I know about Cleo, if there's one thing she likes less than dressing up is hobnobbing.
it's hobnobbing.
hobnobbing.
But you gotta hobnob with all the highfalutin folks. But yeah, so you all head down and you leave the building. Give me a spot hidden. Just give me a spot. It's not hidden.
Be a spot hit.
Just
It's a
hard
regular
success.
success.
Just I want to know if you're looking around with your eyeballs.
Extreme success.
Always.
The mural is back to normal.
What?
And nobody seems to have noticed that it was ever vandalized in the first place.
What
Because it
was
wasn't-
it
and we're going insane.
vandalized with?
It was
Did someone just go up with like a black paintbrush? Like how was it?
it the term is it was vandalized because it didn't match anymore. But yeah, she just appeared to be screaming now and looking at the approach of this Egyptian man, who then had this small creature, mammal or otherwise, on
Oh,
its
so
shoulder.
it just
Looked different.
like it didn't look like somebody like, climbed up and with a spray paint can, or I mean, not
No.
that, or with a paintbrush or whatever,
Somebody,
had like drawn a scared face or
1923,
whatever.
Banksy's
It
out there
just-
just like, fuck this. I have a statement to
So
make.
it just looked like a slightly different painting.
It looked like
mural.
a more yeah we'll say
Okay.
that it was different, and now it is not.
That's way weirder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Bef-
doesn't bode well.
Before we go, I'm going to make sure that Kelsey, because he's packing, has it well hidden.
You don't
I
even
know
I'm
you're
packing,
talking
it's-
about a gun.
No. I
But
just
for a second there, I was like,
I'm
Oh,
not
it's-
an
it's
old
well
lady.
hidden.
Listen. No, I'm just going to assume that Kelsey thinks we're in danger, and so Kelsey has a gun on him. That's just an assumption.
I think that's
And I'm
fine.
just
You
gonna
an
make
offer with
sure-
a possible cultist. I've got 2 guns on me.
Given the way that tuxes sit, and they're always very tight, I want to make sure it sits well so it hides it. So he doesn't just have this bulky gun hanging out.
He's American. I don't think his tux is tight.
Oh, so we put a cowboy hat on him and give him 6 shooters.
He's got a little bolo tie, little leather
I'm
patches
not
on his
opposed to
elbows.
that. I am not opposed to a bolo tie.
Leo
until
has a
it's-
revolver.
I mean, you're from Illinois.
Yeah.
I know you're from Chicago, but Illinois's got a lot of farm country.
No,
Um,
you can't see my gun. Bang bang
anything
or
else.
otherwise.
No. Sorry, Alyssa. This is a cast of children, and you are the adult here. No.
Yeah.
But you just look more put out with us every time. Alyssa's like, I'm trying to be serious, guys.
it was the bang bang or otherwise. Like it was the way it was phrased.
Shoot 'em up, pow pow. All right. So,
Bang bang one or bang bang two.
that's well, that's
Either could be bang bang.
Either. How about both? Shut up, Paula. No, so
I need an adult.
we're all adults here.
Physical or
Oh.
emotionally, because
Sean is the chief adult among us.
I'm the
Matt,
baby.
you are,
Yeah.
and I'm
Well,
the second to baby.
Yeah, I'm over the hill now. It's too late for me. Sorry, guys.
I can't wait till I'm over the hill. Then I can just roll down, just barrel roll. I'm gonna be
That's
gonna be
exactly what
like-
happens, though.
I'm going to be like Thudbutt from Hook, and I'm just gonna fold up and I'm gonna roll.
Forgot his name was Thudbutt.
His
Oh my
name is
God.
absolutely Thudbutt. We discovered this on an episode of Growing Shadows. You guys remember Hook, right?
Yep.
And the
Yeah,
lost
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Yeah, that was friends with Toodles. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, his name was Thudbutt, and he goes, I thought he said cannonball, but the line is actually fat ball. So he shouts
Oh.
fat ball as he folds his little legs up on either side of his head, and then he just rolls down and takes out a bunch of pirates. Goals. So the the 4 of you.
Anyway, the opera.
The opera, you get to there is, as it gets close to time for the opera, there is upwards of 3,000 people milling about the
Good
piazza
Lord.
out in front of the Teatro alla Scala. This is a big event. This is huge. The opera is booked for the next 4 months. 4 weeks, and tonight's performance is absolutely sold out. So,
What's the mood of the crowd? Is it
You-
muted like the rest of Milan?
it is, but like I said, there is that buzzing undercurrent of this feels like a norm. This is getting back to more of a normal thing that we would do. We all go to the opera. We all experience this. This is one of the finer events. This is one of the things that puts Milan on the map. Is this theater house and the operas and the talent and the display that that this represents. And so there is a little bit of that excitement coming from the people around you. Um, but based on your assumptions and your theories about what might be causing this issue and the idea that it is perhaps housed in the theater house, as more people draw closer to it, you are also feeling again that heavy oppression.
As we get
But
closer to the opera house, we feel it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. As more people, so they're trying
Gotcha.
to be a little bit more excited. I mean, you don't have like a huge presence of black shirts like creating issues. There's not a protest happening like there was the other day out in front of the police station. So it's like people are trying to put on a happy face, but that that oppression, that kind of ethereal spiritual oppression is still very present in what you feel.
And real quick, you said there's like 3,000 people that are milling about outside in the
Mhm.
plaza area.
At the
Is
ticket windows and the foyers, I mean,
how many people?
it is packed.
Is that about what the opera house is going to hold, or they're just
Mhm.
people out there for the event? Like
Oh
with
no,
just
these
the
are people that have bought
wow. Okay,
that have bought tickets and are picking up their tickets,
crowded.
and it is a huge crowd of people. You're not getting a ton of the animated chatter or gossip, but you do there's a few people here and there that again are trying to look forward to this. They have dressed. One thing you do notice is that the Milanese are all dressed in black. They are still clearly in a state of mourning, as it were, for the loss, the missing soprano, just because she is so beloved. Um, but yeah, so all these all these 3,000 people getting ready to go into the opera, and as you kind of get closer, it takes on a very kind of funerary tone. Even though you have no evidence or anything that Katerina is deceased. The fact that she has not been found is very very it's just sad for the people of Milan.
As we mingle, I will take point and make sure that anyone who doesn't want to speak, Cleo, doesn't have to. Like, I will play the appropriate social butterfly to keep anyone from having to interact if they don't want to. I also assume that I see people that I'm at least familiar with in the grander scheme of money. Even if they aren't
Probably
friends, they're acquaintances.
you may recognize some people. I will say this. So you pick up your tickets that she left for you. Your tickets are front row and center. If this would be the time now for you to tell me if any of you are not going to go to your seats. Does anybody want to?
Do we know what Faccia looks like?
Uh, Brizio gave you a very cursory. It's just he's elderly,
So
has a mustache, a little
unless I
gaunt.
see someone I think is him, I'm going to the seats.
Okay.
Would the ticket office had given the Countess where his box was so that we could at least keep eye on that to see if he shows up?
I mean, yeah, they were like, oh, yeah. I mean, when he
Okay.
called, or when she called, I assumed that she kind of like, oh, I'm supposed to meet Mr. Faccia in his box tonight. Can you tell me which one is his so that I may?
So,
Okay.
yeah, and I also figured that as we
Properly.
sit down, we can check the boxes like
Mhm.
from the ground and see if we can see someone in his right before the
Sure.
lights go.
Sure. You have not spot. I mean, there are several elderly
Yeah, yeah.
people there. He could be any number of people. But yeah, if anybody does not want to go to the seats and would rather attempt to set up shop somewhere else in the building, I just need to know.
I
Think-
want to look in the playbill or whatever the
Whatever it
opera
is, the
version
program.
of a playbill is,
The program.
and the song, the aria that we heard her sing and that we
Ritorno
heard her sing on
Concerto?
the train. I want to know where in the show it lands.
Okay. Okay. You are absolutely able to find that. It is near the end of the show. Um, yeah, it'll be closer to the finale. But yeah, so everybody's going to the seats.
If I hate to split this up like this, but I think Kelsey's gonna slip away,
Okay.
and he's gonna go up the fire escape and go through that door through the costuming department,
The
and
one
see
that
if he can.
the one that she fixed?
Yeah, the one
But
that.
then we broke it.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
it's a locked door.
Then
I'll be able to get
We fixed it.
Give me a stealth.
The point. What I'm gonna do is I want to go and see if I can get a spot, either up in the
Closer to the action. as
the
it were.
catwalk of the stage. You know, like the. I'm assuming theaters have all the lighting, even back then, rigging above the stage that I could get on a catwalk, and it would be easier to infiltrate from the top
Probably.
down.
Yeah.
So that's
Sure.
that's my idea.
I assume so. I assume there's always that stuff up there because that's where all the people have fallen from and died and haunted all the theaters. So I assume
Right.
that's a thing
That's not scary at all.
happened for. Don't fall, bud.
That is
Good thing you're Dexy. That's why the old ladies like
Osha will be displeased.
Oh, do I need to?
OSHA
Yeah, we should.
in
OSHA.
Italy. In Italy
In
in
Italy.
1923. Sure.
It gets founded somehow.
I
This
can't
is
decide
it.
if I need to spend luck to get a hard success or not.
You know what? It's fine.
I was gonna say with all the chaos, I think it would be fairly
There's
easy to
so
slip
much hubbub
through.
and hustle and bustle
Okay.
happening around that I'm gonna say that you are easily able to pop in that the costumery is empty.
Right.
Everything should be down. Anything that is being worked on, if there are like I guess last minute repairs or alterations needed, all that will be happening downstairs. It's not
Okay.
going to be happening up here. Those of you that do go to the seats, it takes you a full 5 minutes to wind your way through these 3,000 people to get to your seats. And so your seats are immediately before the orchestra. And they're
The orchestra in a pit,
yeah.
or are they okay?
Yeah. And your seats are right there before them. They are tuning. It's the wonderful sounds of a tuning orchestra, which I don't miss those days of being an orchestra. I mean, to listen to. But yeah, all that's happening. And I'm gonna say that we're gonna go ahead and take our break now, before the opera starts. Those of you that have stuck with us thus far, thank you so much. We will be back in 10 whole minutes. This week, as far as things that are happening, don't wave yet.
Sorry.
Those things, the things that are coming up this week are, we have, I believe, Post-Apocalyptic Jukebox on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. here at twitch.tv/RookandRasp. On Wednesday, we should be seeing a return into the Revverse with a new Alien tale on Wednesday at the same time. Or is it 8 p.m.? Or no, Tuesday night is 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Wednesday night is 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And I believe that's it, perhaps, for the rest of the year here on Rook and Rasp. So keep an eye on all of our social medias. Check out twitter.com/RookandRasp. If someone's in chat and can do the exclam Twitter, exclam YouTube, exclam Facebook, and exclam Discord, you can come and join us and hang out and all those things and get all the news and what have yous and happenings as they come out. So we'll be back in 10 for a performance of Aida at Teatro alla Scala. See you soon, my friends. Hello, and welcome back to the second half of our final episode for the season of Illuminated Page Horror on the Orient Express. Our illustrious investigators have found themselves at the Teatro alla Scala in Milan for the opening night performance of Aida by Verdi, and they have begun making their way to their stations where they are going to spend the performance. Kelsey Haskins has snuck upstairs into the costumery to then climb down to get up into the rafters, somewhere in the backstage hubbub or above the stage area that he can keep an eye on things. And then you also have the other three, the ladies of the party, have wended their way through 3,000 opera goers to find their seats front and center, right by the orchestra pit, where the orchestra is tuning their instruments and people are filing in. At 8 p.m. sharp, the conductor wraps his baton on the stand and captures everyone's attention. The music, huh?
Can we see the guy Facci in his box?
Faccia, you
Faccia.
look up. Faccia, you look up at his box. You don't see anybody who matches his description up there.
Maybe the other guy didn't get new lungs. Maybe he got really old lungs.
That was, yeah, Revna thought that might be the case too.
Oh.
We don't see anyone that matches his description, or we don't see anyone in his box.
No one that matches his description.
Okay, so there are people in his box.
There are people in his box. I'm sorry. I quit. This is my last episode with Illuminated Page, everybody. We're getting a new GM next year that can be a fucking adult. So
Where are you gonna find one of those?
Really?
Yeah, where have you?
not in this Discord. Yeah, the music begins, a melody familiar to the investigators from Cavallero's impromptu recital aboard the Orient Express. The curtain bunches up and up and up and up to reveal on stage a great hall of ancient Egypt. You see priests sacrificing plaster lambs at the feet of a statue of Isis, whom they are petitioning to choose a new Egyptian leader, while young warrior, and you'll have to forgive me, anyone who has culture and knows anything about this opera. I do not, so I'm going to mispronounce a lot of names probably, but I do take correction fairly well. So it is not me trying to be insensitive, it is me doing my best. So young warrior Radames sings of his hope to be chosen, and also that upon his return from the fight against the Ethiopians that he may ask Aida, who is a captured Ethiopian slave, handmaiden to the Egyptian king's daughter, to marry him. Little does he know that Aida is a princess herself, the daughter of the Ethiopian king and leader. Radames is chosen as the new Egyptian leader, and the priests take him away to be presented with his armor. Sorry, I have the GIF chat up and it will distract the hell out of me. So I had to close that, sorry. And I lied to you, Cleo. The aria is more in the center. It's like before
Is it-
intermission.
It's before intermission.
Yeah, I lied. I misread. So you're keeping an eye out. So this is, I read you a lot, but this is a good bit of the of the first part of this play. You do hear Aida's tortured aria Ritorno Vincentore, the one that the investigators know so well by now. It begins, and you see the understudy Di Mattina begin to start singing it, and you don't. Having heard Caterina Cavallaro sing this in person, and also hearing Caterina Cavallaro perhaps sing it the night before, Di Mattina is talented, but she is no opera diva. She does not have the power. Cleo's like, I've heard better.
Shit.
I heard better
Leo
last night
stands
from a
up and sings
chameleon.
it.
We demand a refund.
Yeah, this is shit.
She's a demon.
From up there after you heard, we heard better from a chameleon last night. No.
Somebody bring out a lizard. she does not have even the stage presence. Like Katarina was so graceful and just kind of captivating in the way she moved and the way that her voice, the timbre of her voice and the cadence, and she just was she could just enrapture you with her whole presence. And DiMattina, again, beautiful, talented, but nowhere near the same style of presence, or same style or same caliber of talent. And but oddly, as she sings, the whole opera house really begins to hum with the resonance and the of the aria. And give me a listen roll.
A 99.
A
I will
93.
take that extreme success.
So we have an extreme not success.
Mine was nice, but not a success.
Okay. Oh,
Extreme
nice.
success.
Nice.
Nice.
Kelsey.
The only one.
I rolled a 93, so no. I'm
Okay.
not.
We're doing
So-
great.
So Cleo, I mean, the rest of you are like, wow, is everybody singing this song? Like, it feels like everyone. It's how loud and powerful it is, and everything begins to just kind of. I don't know if we've all been to live music shows. I'm the kind of person that I wear earplugs at these shows, but that's usually because I can feel everything inside my chest when I'm at a live music show, and it kind of moves me to tears, because I'm a sap. But that resonance when things hit you a different way, that's kind of what this feels like. You're all kind of being carried along on this massive sound wave where it feels like everyone around you is singing. That successful listen roll, though, Cleo, you're like, no, that is her voice. I can hear her. I can absolutely hear her. And you got an exceptional success, correct?
Yeah.
I can hear her, and she is close. And you start to look around, and you're like, everybody else is just kind of moved. You can see the other opera goers. There are some with tears in their eyes. This is such a emotional piece in the first place. And you glance over,
Some Phantom of the Opera shit.
and across the center aisle,
Yeah.
you see a tall elderly man singing this aria.
Is it? Does he match the description of dude? What's name? I've already forgotten again.
Focaccia.
Yes.
I was waiting for someone to call him Focaccia. Thank you.
Faccia.
You don't see him,
Oh,
Johanna.
that's a good point.
You're not even noticing. Cleo has just kind of looked around. Cleo, go ahead and give me a spot hidden.
I will take that 26. I think
You
that's.
will. I will take that
I'm going to
26.
spend 4 and make it a hard success. 4
Okay,
points
that's
of
fine.
luck.
You do notice that he has a scarred neck as he sings.
They shopped her out for parts.
And he is singing in exactly the voice of Caterina Cavallaro.
It's not how. that
I
works.
do need you to roll me a sanity check.
Ah, sucker.
Now, when
Why
you
we
say
didn't notice nothing?
Just because I'm taking notes, when you said scar, are you talking like an old scar, or we're talking about an
Oh, no,
incision
it's-
that is still looking fresh?
I mean, you're not seeing it, but
No, I
Leo
want it
is
for the
absolutely
notes.
seeing. Yeah, it's a fresh.
That's
scar.
a success.
Excuse me. Okay. Yeah. For a success, you lose 1. Because you are quite sure that he is singing with the voice of someone that you have met before, and you have not met this man before.
Who's sitting next to me of our group?
I probably would have sat next to
Probably Johanna. Probably
you. Yeah, I'm
Johanna's
probably
in the
between the
middle
two of you. So you both can police me and I don't touch other people.
Yeah, 100%
She's gonna
that.
like.
Yeah.
She's gonna tap Johanna and sort of like gesture over to the corner, or wherever this guy is.
I will look, and then I assume I see him.
You do see him, and you are able to. Do you say anything, Cleo?
I mean, she's gonna tap and point. She's gonna get up.
Oh
Okay.
no!
So-
Oh no!
So if you tap and point, and then Johanna would see. I'm gonna say, Johanna, you also realize at this time, seeing this man singing, with the music and able to discern, you are also able to kind of discern that it is the voice of Katerina Cavallaro. I need you to make a sanity check as well.
Oh no! That's a negatory.
Burner.
Crud buckets.
All right, you lose 1d6.
Okay. I didn't need that sanity anyway. That's 5. That's not that bad.
We're gonna lose it anyway.
Oh yeah. As long as I don't lose 11 more in the next hour, we're good.
Oh, you know what?
Oh no!
Oh no.
Roxy!
Oh no, everything's fine. I forgot to let you roll your luck advances at the beginning of the show, so go ahead and do that.
No.
Roll a d6 or a d10. You're doing a normal luck advance, so do roll above your luck and then.
No.
Yeah, it
Oh,
wasn't
wait,
anything
no, I
bad.
did.
I just
Yay! So, D10?
and a d10. Yep.
10 points.
So, before you get up, Cleo, let's pause there. Go ahead, Johanna.
On a quick... Oh, so, looking at the man, does he match the
Absolutely, he's a tall,
description
gaunt,
of
elderly
focaccia
man.
bread?
He does. He is very. I can't think of what focaccia's like. It's tasty. That's all I remember about. Guys, I just don't.
So he looks tasty is what you're telling
He
us.
looks. He looks. He
He a
looks.
snack.
He's. I do have a
Mm.
picture. Would you guys like to see his face?
We don't have any drops in
Full
the
of
Milan
gluten.
folder yet.
I
FYI.
know because I'm a shitty GM. You guys are used to this by now.
Lazy hippie.
I'm a lazy hippie.
Oh yeah, no, he's not bad looking.
He's not bad looking.
No.
I mean, maybe
Sorry,
day
he's
old.
67.
Yeah, ancient.
I mean, I'm just
He
saying.
does not look. He looks good for 67.
Okay, you've already.
Well, yeah,
kind
he's
of-
a cultist.
I was gonna say you've already kind of made it. You've theorized that he could be a brother of the skin, and if you remember what Conti said as he died was something along the lines of brothers of the skin are immortal, they live forever, blah 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 blah. But he didn't because he had a bullet hole through his new lungs.
As Cleo starts to move to get up, I'm going to grab hold of her sleeve, like strongly, not so strong she can't pull away, but enough that it is clear I'm holding her there before she can get up. She
Okay.
pulls away from me. She pulls away from me, but like,
Do
So,
it.
oh, yeah,
have
she doesn't
either
do
of
it.
you, Johanna, or Emily, have you noticed that there is movement, or are you just like so into this opera?
Oh, no,
is it-
Emily's here to watch over Johanna, and I'm assuming
Okay.
she'll
Johanna
notice.
breathes.
when you see
Yeah,
when you see the movement out of your peripheral, you do look and you can see. I will say also at this time that you realize that man across the hall, the aisle, this old, the book says dry-mouthed, old man
There's always
Um,
the type.
is
Now we have to
He's
stick a
not
finger in
hitting
his mouth to
those
make sure
notes
that
if
we
he has
know.
a
Yeah.
dry mouth.
from Faccia's. I almost called him Focaccia. Thanks, guys. From Faccia's old dry mouth spill the perfect notes of a soprano that you have heard so well 2 times before. And I will say that everybody has noticed the scarring, besides Kelsey at this point, because you don't know where it's coming from, but you also do feel that you hear Katerina Cavallaro. But go ahead and give me that sanity check there, Emily.
I make it.
Okay. You lose 1. As the three of you are looking, you know what, Kelsey, you also hear, you're like, man, that has to be her. And so you start looking around. Go ahead and give me a spot hidden.
Like no one else notices that this soprano sounds completely different suddenly.
Well, they're all just, it feels like the whole opera house
Yeah.
is singing. It's just you guys have heard her sing this very
Regular. Oh wait. 40. No, hard success. Right on the nose.
Okay, that's fine. You also are scanning the crowd below. I don't know if you can see the crowd from maybe
You
front row.
should, especially
from
front
up
row.
above. Yeah, we'll say that you can, and that you also notice this old man singing along
Where are
In
the ushers?
elsewhere.
Nowhere.
Probably also singing along.
Dead.
That's where the ushers are. Kelsey and the three of you all notice.
Do I need
Well,
to make
go
a
ahead,
sanity
give me
roll?
that. Give me that sanity roll, because you're
I
like,
passed it. I
whoa,
passed it.
that old man sounds exactly like that young lady. So, I'm confused. Yeah, you lose
1
one
point.
with that success. The three of you, as you're kind of taking in this sight, or the four of you, you see the old man next to this amazing singer. Sits an old woman, a large old woman, wizened and wrinkled enough to be his mother. So, very, very old woman. She sits a bit slack-mouthed, listening intently to the aria, as though trying to remember something important. Towards the end of the aria, she does begin to weep.
Does she look like she once looked like Caterina Cavallaro?
Do any of you speak Italian?
I think
No,
you're.
I have
we've established that we do
linguist
not.
and-
You are linguists, so go ahead and give me a linguist roll. What do you do for a
It's
linguist
intelligence.
roll? Okay, give me an intelligence roll to see if you can translate the lyrics here.
Oh yeah, that's a 6. That's a extreme success.
Yeah, so Johanna, you are your young, intelligent mind is working behind the scenes as you lose a bit of sanity watching this old man sing, but you the gears are turning. You're translating lyrics as you hear them, and the line that as she begins to weep is, "In night darkness the mind is lost, and in cruel anguish I want to die." Give me a spot hidden, anybody who is looking at this old woman, if you would like.
Oh, I actually made that one.
It's Caterina. Hey,
Ooh, let's go. Allah's hitting the 2 tonight.
My
Then
first
those-
particularly good roll.
Is them's those ladybug dice, or are you using one of your other new sets?
I'm using some random dice.
Randos. How you doing there, Matt?
You got a success.
Okay. Who else got success? Kelsey, did you look?
I can look. I figured maybe
Only
up there
if-
I would have noticed the old.
Oh,
lady,
that's
but-
fine. It would be a little difficult to see
Yeah.
this,
I
but
think you did notice the old.
though
lady.
Okay.
you noticed the
I'll
old
look.
lady, but you might, at your angle, you may not be able to notice that her neck is also similarly scarred to the old man.
Well, I got an extreme success at 6, so
Nice.
Okay,
Nice,
well
nice.
then, yeah,
Eagle
you're
eye.
like, oh, that bitch just had surgery, and she does bear a familial resemblance to Miss Katerina. Perhaps they're related.
Perhaps they are each other.
That's still
so-
related.
Cleo, if you in character are determining that you believe that this is Katerina, I need you to make another sanity roll.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
if we
that's
made that
weird.
spot hidden, we should all
I
make
mean,
that, right?
It's
Yeah.
not the weirdest thing she's ever
Yeah.
seen. But
Give me some
that's a success.
give me
son
some
of a-
sanity rolls, babes.
Nope.
Success.
I failed.
succeeded.
If you did not fail, you only lose 1. If you did fail, you lose 1d4.
Okay, that's not so bad.
Did you, Allah? Did you?
I'm
roll
a
sanity?
skeptic. I don't believe like there's some weird ass shit, but this is just like
That's her grandma.
yeah, that's her grandma or mother maybe.
I mean, she looks like she's 87.
Then her grandmother. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, I don't know how often 60-year-olds were still popping out babies, but
You know,
could happen.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that
We
weird-
just saw a lung
weird- yeah.
transplant.
Weirder
Right.
things have happened in recent history.
And apparently a full-on voice box transplant. So what I'm learning about the Cult of the Skin is they do more than just skin.
Yeah, they're honestly poorly named. Cult of the entire body.
Well,
is
it's
what they should go for.
the Brotherhood of the Skin. If you remember from your research, the Brotherhood of the Skin worships someone called the Skinless One. So,
I mean, they all seem to have all their skin too, which
Yeah.
And then
Sometimes more than just their skin.
yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Ah.
welcome. to our
Don't you just
show,
love playing with
ladies.
us?
I mean, you guys put up with my dick jokes. What can I do? So, yeah. So on either side of these two individuals are two seemingly uncomfortable-looking, well-dressed middle-aged men. So 4 in total. So there's 2, the old folks, 2 more. That just to give you an idea of their entourage.
So, question.
Mhm.
Because I've ignored plenty of security. Do they look like they're security for these people? Do I see them and then choose not to notice them?
Oh, probably. Yeah, you don't. Johanna does not care.
Okay,
They're the help. They are the staff.
that's what I think.
The rest of you may not even really take note of them either, because you're so focused on who you believe is Caterina Cavallaro and who you believe is Arturo Faccia. As the aria winds to a close, he slumps forward, breathing very heavily. The gentleman does. A new backdrop unfurls. The new scene is inside the temple of Fatah. Apologies.
Yeah.
Incense billows out into the audience as Radames strides in, followed by a group of priests who present him with his sword, his sandals, his helmet, and then a spotlight comes up on what Faccia has. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. and then a spotlight comes up and lands on. Yeah, that was a whoopsie. Sorry, apologies. It's what you're seeking too, so it doesn't fucking matter. But yeah, there's a suit of armor arranged quite nicely on a large dressmaker's dummy, the 7th dummy from the costumer's room that you didn't get to see the other day. So the priests lift the armor off, and for a second, yeah, for a second, if you're watching, those of you that have turned back to the stage, those of you that are watching as the armor is lifted off, you see this dressmaker's dummy, and something about it under the spotlight, it kind of, the vision is almost like it blurs at first, like you feel like you need to clear your eyes.
Oh, it blurs. I heard it purrs. I was like, we can hear it?
No, it blurs. It's almost as though it, if I were to use modern terminology, it's almost like it's out of phase with what you're seeing. But it clears up once you kind of blink it away. But when
And
you
that-
first
that-
lay eyes on it, it definitely gives you a strange feeling.
And that out of phaseness didn't happen until they took the armor off.
Until you could actually see
Gotcha.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, the armor was fine when it was covered up, but as soon as you could actually see the torso, you were kind of ugh.
I'm gonna let
Kinda
go
like-
of Cleo.
oh.
Let her do whatever she needs to do, and I'm just gonna follow her. You get to touch the stuff tonight. Go ahead.
The
Who's gonna stage during the opera? I mean,
yeah, it I'll say the torso looks, it's kind of like an opalescent marble looking thing. It's very beautiful. It is not a normal dressmaker's dummy by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, Cleo, did you want to get up? As I said, the old man, once he finished singing, kind of slumped forward.
Well, she was gonna potentially try to put a ring of salt around the guy while he was singing, but now he stopped singing.
The so as the torso is revealed, you all recognize it clearly as having the same sheen as the left arm that you already have in your possession. After you've seen it, you've cleared your vision, you do hear kind of a shout of excitement from across the aisle. And those of you that would be looking, that would go to look, would realize that the old man did kind of whoop for joy, even as the spotlight dissipates and moves off of this part of the simulacrum. But it becomes very clear to you that yes, Facha is also seeking that peace. To what end, you know not.
Oh, for the cult, we
Culty
know.
things.
Yeah, no, we're on top of this. Don't tell us we don't know. We know.
What's the vibe of the audience? Cleo's very close to doing a big no-no in a theater, but not against it if she has
They're
to.
the theater goers. I did talk about this a second ago. I mean, they're completely taken in by the performance. They're focused. They're not really paying attention. Even the scream and ecstasy from the old man was probably like, oh, this is just such a beautiful. What this set is amazing. And they're all probably a little taken by the sight of the torso as well, just because of the properties that it gives off. So there's probably some of that. Now that it's essentially barefaced right in front of this entire group of people, it has quite the... Yes.
Do what I think I know what Cleo's planning to do. I've got something going in my head too. I will totally back you up with what I think you're gonna do.
How much chaos do we want?
I want so much chaos.
1000%.
Cleo's gonna yell fire.
As soon as I hear Cleo yell fire, I'm going to pull my gun and start shooting spotlights out to make pops and smoke and add to the chaos.
What did you pull out?
My gun.
And so you're just firing your gun?
No, I'm shooting at the spotlights that are going to be across from me.
Okay. Well, that sounds dangerous too, but okay. Yeah.
I'm not shooting into the crowd. I mean,
No. That just sounds like you're gonna have glass flying at you. I don't know.
Well, that adds to the scariness of someone yelling fire, too.
Okay, so yeah, you all see that this torso is right there, like 30 feet away from you. There's an orchestra pit separating you from it. There is Cleo stands up and shouts, "Fire!" and I guess Kelsey was already picking up on that and starts to pop and create terror and havoc. And yeah, there is a commotion, and the four men that were surrounding the old man and the old woman kind of hurriedly get out of their seats. And I mean, there is commotion, so go ahead and give me some dodge rolls, because you guys are going to be being jostled about. You are in the front, thankfully, but if the orchestra decides to just fucking hightail it and go your direction,
Well,
So
they're in
give
a pit. They have their own exit out of it.
I got a hard success. I'm very excited about that. My dodge is crap.
Hard success as well.
you don't need a dodge roll, Kelsey, because you're like,
You have to dodge the glass flying at your face.
you know,
Well,
one
it's
of you
across
could have.
from me.
One of the things that the book suggests that one of you might have chosen to do was infiltrate the actual set as an extra. And so I was waiting to see if anybody was going to be like,
That's
yeah.
what I would have done.
Not what Cleo would have done.
Not what
Different.
Cleo would have done.
Completely
So-
different.
While they're dodgy, though, I'm going to... I would have figured since I'm out there, I've already would have spotted a ladder that would have went behind probably the backdrop, and I'm scampering it down to the stage.
Okay. Sounds good. So yeah. So those of you that succeeded your dodge rolls, everything's fine. If you didn't, did anybody not succeed the dodge roll? Or the dex roll? Okay, if y'all succeeded, everything's fine. You're managed to kind of keep yourself. You are in the front row, so it's not as bad. Most of the people are screaming and running out behind you. You do have the conductor telling the orchestra to depart their way, and you have Toscanini, that's not his name. Was it? Was that his name? Toscanini? It is. Arturo Toscanini comes out and he's like, oh, there's, calling for the curtains to come down. I'm not going to say it requires a spot hidden because the 4 of you are also trying to keep your eye on the old man, I assume. And you do notice that the four middle-aged gentlemen kind of start to usher the old man towards the stage. So they're headed backstage, and the old woman begins to kind of totter off after them.
Can we, in the chaos, start, I don't know, taking these guys out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, with guns or anything.
I brought knives for this.
Okay.
And
So-
so while the curtain's coming down, hopefully I've gotten to the stage. I'm making my way to the simulacrum. Not touching
Okay.
the damn thing, but
Oh, it's
I've
too late.
taken-
You're gonna touch it.
Nope, I've taken my
thing.
jacket off
Touch it.
and put my jacket over it in case I can pick it up and start going if we need.
Remember
to.
that didn't work last time either, but go
Shh.
ahead.
No, I
touch
touched the bare arm last time.
Yeah, he kicked it last time. He actually touched it with an appendage. But okay. Well, Mr. Under the Baleful Influence of the left arm, I need you to roll me a dex.
Oh,
Which you
man.
have a really good dex. So it
I do
should
have a
be
good
fine.
dex.
Also, you have like 3 personal rerolls and like 37 table rerolls
Oh my
and a
God.
bunch of luck.
Chat, I'm way too nice to these players for all this boon that you give them.
Yeah, you should.
You really
we should
shouldn't
already.
be. Yeah,
We should already be
dead.
halfway to insane by now. Let's be honest.
That is a 26.
I have
which
not
is
given
a
you any sanity
success.
that the book has not told you.
That's fair.
26.
Okay, you're fine. You throw your
Yeah,
coat
good
over it.
catch.
You do feel like kind of sick being that close to it, though.
I hate these things.
Give me a
Leo's
sanity
also
roll.
trying to get up to the stage, by the way.
37, which is way below my current sanity level.
So yeah, so who is chasing after the 5 men and the old lady? Who
I-
is going up on the I mean, you're all kind of headed in the same direction, but who's going to be focusing on like dealing with the entourage?
I think that's an Emily job.
Is it
Yeah,
Emily
and
Bloom?
I'm gonna follow up behind Emily and help her. Yeah, I'm not leaving Emily by herself. That seems bad.
Okay. So, go ahead because they
Oh.
don't know that you're there. So I'm gonna let you guys have a bit of a little sneaky on them, and there's so much commotion that for them to even pick up that you were there, they would have to be focusing. But Facia is absolutely 100% focused on getting a hold of the simulacrum part. So I believe Emily has the higher dex.
Yep.
So go ahead. What would you like to do? So they're probably in the commotion. I'm gonna say that they've got maybe 15 yards on you.
And she'd like to try and catch up with them.
Okay.
And probably
I'll
the
say
one towards the back.
Mm-hmm.
She would.
Now the old lady
s-
is also scampering after them, so you would be able to overtake the old lady.
Yeah, and she'll glance down at the old lady and just nod slightly, and then just garrote the closest guy. Just look. It's the quietest way to do it without.
She just
He's not gonna cry for help.
That piano wire just whips around and. Whop. Okay. So
Out of the sleeve.
go
I
ahead.
rolled
And
a natural 5.
Nice.
you
I mean, not to piss
succeeded in
off.
lassoing good old henchman number 3.
It is 9 points of damage.
Okay. I'm gonna say that you hold him enough, and you just kind of pull him down that you leave him on the ground. He's a nobody. So you are now, Emily is now easily kind of keeping up with this group. The others have not noticed that their guy.
We're
in
like
the rear
raptors in the
is-
high grass.
Yep, yeah, has not noticed that Emily has replaced henchman number 3.
Well, she's wearing dark clothing and is middle-aged and roughly mannish in size, so they.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. It's fine. It's fine. So that's happening. Johanna, what would you like to do?
Whoever is next, I just want to hamstring them. I just want to cut them across the back of the hamstring so that moving forward is very difficult for them.
Okay. So give me that. Give me.
Johanna.
Johanna whisks up like a little cat, and she just like.
That is an extreme success.
Okay, give me that damage roll.
Unfortunately, I don't have a damage bonus. 6 damage.
All right. Well, henchman number 2 is back there now. He when you slice him and cut into him, he's like ugh, and I'm gonna say Emily, you would be right there, and as you've released your quarry, you kind of grab and cover his mouth as he also goes down, but he is alive and just in a lot of pain. So Johanna does not know the quiet way to take out the enemy.
No.
Yeah, you just pinch his nose and cover his mouth. You're like, sleep, child, sleep.
So heartless.
Don't stray. And whereas the old woman is just like, just looks absolutely horrified. And but I mean,
Is
she
there
also
a
looks
look of
vacant as fuck.
recognition in her eyes?
Oh
of
no,
us?
she looks vacant as fuck.
Okay, cool.
She does not look like she's really even here with you, but she does recognize that there's
Oh, Johanna's been to plenty of parties. She knows that look.
knows that look. Okay. Hearing Faccia does not care a lick that his whatever's happening behind him. He has one goal, and that goal is getting to the torso. And the curtain has come down. So Kelsey, you are alone with the torso. Are you going to try to move it at all? Are you going to?
Yeah.
Is it on casters?
It is. It can be wheeled off stage without. I mean, give me an idea roll, Kelsey.
I'm a thief. I know how to abscond with the booty.
I just assume that we're gonna run down the street with this thing on wheels, just pushing it along the whole way.
Like on
Regular
a pole.
success.
Regular success.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say that you have the idea because you know that you kicked it the last time. You kicked a piece of it the last time, and it still transferred that what you believe it transferred to you. You're going to put the armor back on. You're going to put the suit of armor back on the thing.
Well, I'd already covered it with my
You
jacket.
covered it with your jacket, but you touched it with your shoe last time. So I'm going to say that you put the armor back on it, and you're like extra layers just in case, because I'm going to be honest with you as a GM, you do not want to touch this thing.
No.
You do not want to have both parts dealing with you. So
No, I don't want
you
TV.
find a way. You're the one who went to it, Kelsey. So
I'm trying to get to it. It's just taking time.
You didn't learn the first time, obviously.
But yeah, so it's on casters. You're able to you find a way to maneuver it out without touching the torso itself. I'm gonna say that you were able to maneuver it off stage. So now ensues this kind of cat and mouse game so the old man kind of takes off. The henchmen, hearing their fallen comrades shout out, do turn around to engage you. So one of them is going to get out a knife, and he is going to do a little slasheroo. Let's see here.
Why is he gonna slash Rue?
Yeah, you're brew.
Y'all gonna get stabbed.
I am living far too close to you to pull this. I really need to be aware.
Yeah.
That you're like a half-hour drive away from murdering
I
me.
drive past your house every day.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, we just let it. Don't worry about it. We don't question.
We don't question it. We only see each other when we drive to another city to go smoke, so which tracks for adults in 2022.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, he shoots like shit. So you're fine. I think. Let me double check. Yeah. or he doesn't shoot, but he slashes at you, and he misses.
So he
So
slashes at me, or
he slashes at whoever's closest, which I'm gonna say it's probably Cleo. Um, they
So
don't know.
just
Three
as a
people.
reminder for combat, Cleo can dodge or fight back.
Yeah.
And that dictates the roll.
Oh, well, would you like to dodge or fight back, or would you just like to
How fresh is this?
on the old lady?
On the old man.
Oh, it's very, very fresh. Oh God. Oh God. What are you planning?
Is it stitched?
God, no.
Yeah.
Mm.
You're making me pretty uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, okay. So
Well, because if
you-
he's coming, if he's slashing at her and coming at her, he's probably close enough that
well, this isn't
she
the old man.
can-
This
Yeah,
is-
it's the goons.
Oh.
This
It's
is the
goons.
goon. This is a henchman.
Oh.
But now
The
we know
old
what
man
Cleo
is
has in
like,
mind.
I'm fucking out of here. The old man is
I
like,
think-
my torso.
Yeah, he wants his prize.
I'm focused on him.
Okay. So go ahead and just for grins, give me a dodge.
Sure.
The other guy rolled a 78 on his brawl roll.
Okay, that's a regular success on my dodge.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're able to, like, he comes at you, you duck under his arms and you go around. Yeah, you're like because
I got shit to do.
yeah. And he's a pretty big dude, and Cleo's on the smaller side, right? She's like
Yeah.
5'4", 5'5", even that.
If that, yeah.
Yeah, I think she was on the lower side of 5 foot. So yeah, you're able to just kind of duck under and get past. The other henchman will take a he produces a blunt weapon out of you have no idea where, and he he goes.
Woohoo!
Yes.
I do not consent.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah. So and he's gonna go after Emily because Johanna's cute, and he's like, I don't want to hurt her.
That's fair.
So he focuses on the big one that is laying his friend down.
A good call to like stab him in the kidneys, but whatever.
Well, you never know. So, what would you like to do, Emily? Are you going to fight back, dodge, or
Parry's an option, right?
So
Parry?
the two options are fight back and dodge. When you fight back, if you succeed and your success is equal to or is better than theirs, you do your damage to them. If you dodge, you just have to be as good as they are. So if they get a normal success and you get a normal success on a dodge, you will dodge the damage. If you fight back, though, you have to have a better success. So you would have to have it hard to their normal, if that makes sense.
and I just
I'm
need to-
feeling spicy.
so you
Let's
fighting back.
fight back.
Good go.
What you fighting
Okay.
back with?
Um,
10-digit communication?
she can't.
Swippy blade?
I've got the sword cane as well. And the
Oh, that's
blade is
true.
likely not out, but I can still use it as
As a
bludgeoning.
blunt weapon.
Yeah.
That you produce out of God knows where. And
And I rolled a natural 6 this time, so
Alright.
that is a like a super extreme success.
that's a super extreme success, and he failed. So, you clock this mother right up against his old conkin noggin, and and he go ahead and give me that damage.
It is 8 points of damage.
Yeah, he drops like a sack of pasta. And
Wow.
what? What? I was trying. Potatoes
We're
aren't a
in
thing.
Italy.
I know. Well, I'm sorry. He drops like a sack of potato gnocchi. And
Oh man, now I want gnocchi.
And yeah, so that's 3 of the henchmen dealt with. It would actually be Cleo's go now. So Cleo, go ahead, and what would you like to do?
Sorry, my computer keeps.
Kick the old dude in the back of the knee
Fucking
and keep
start.
running.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Yeah.
want to, I mean, you're
how
more than
close
welcome
am
to-
I to him?
Oh, you could tackle the old man now. I mean,
Great.
he's moving, but you've
Yeah.
done the whole little duck and weave through his henchman under the arm, and you're easily able to catch up with the old man.
Right.
So, do you want to apprehend him? Do you want to?
Yeah, I mean,
trip
she'll
him,
literally like
hobble
she
him?
will like dive at his
At him.
legs.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead and give me a.
Brawl,
I'm
probably.
gonna say brawl. Yeah, give me a brawl.
Okay.
And then he still has the option to dodge or.
I'm
Oh, okay. I'm
checking
gonna
his
spend.
stats.
You
Can I
can't
spend
spend
luck
luck
on
on
that?
combat.
Okay.
No.
That's fine. Then it's a. At least it's a regular success.
He doesn't even have. So I guess his dodge would just be half of his dex because he doesn't have any
Yeah.
additional points in it. So let me give him a little roly roll.
So
He's
close to a
going-
hard success.
He's going to attempt to move. He does not. He so you are able to, yeah, you tackle him and you catch him right behind like the thighs as you spear into him, and he goes down pretty hard. Like for an old fella, you're confident that you probably felt something snap
Broke his hip.
as
Welcome to Call of Cthulhu, where we beat up old people.
or 7th Sea, whichever.
And then,
Um,
and then she hops up like Goldberg after a spear. Just
just absolutely just yeah, Cleo Cleo goes full WWE and like starts working the crowd. She's like your manager's out there hyping you up. Woo! Comes out of nowhere. Ophelia's like, that's my bitch.
Like, oh, that's why I didn't hear from you.
I was flying in, babe. I'm here. All right, yeah. So, anyway, as you go down, I will say that you do see a chameleon skitter out of his clothes. And it doesn't go far, but the chameleon comes out and kind of they hiss, don't they? They can make little hissing noises. He makes a threatening chameleon sound.
She like leans forward to not the chameleon, but to the guy she just knocked over, and she's like, "Would you call that a karma chameleon?" I'm just kidding.
You. Fuck you. Get out of here.
remember, where are some of
And
your
he's
favorite
he's
people?
he's wearing a no god fuck.
He's wearing a
you.
fez too.
Little tiny fizz.
Yeah, the chameleon has little patches of skin sewn on. Oh god.
It's stop being cute.
Yeah, guys, you're taking me places tonight that I'm just not here for. And also a jar of like dead moths rolls out of his well, he's got to feed the little buddy. It's his buddy. Yes. I will say that as the chameleon kind of looks at you, Cleo, it does kind of just look at you as like, could I eat you? Could I? Could I?
Is this
Bring it,
really
little
your
guy.
friend?
Bring it. Bring it,
He
chameleon.
just grows. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, go to
Yeah, he
flip
just
it.
his neck swells and it's like, oh god. Maybe
I
he
take it
can.
back.
So back to the top of the order. Emily,
Do I get to go?
didn't you go?
Nope.
Yeah, you,
You
hamstring somebody.
knifed some guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you,
that was
you,
last round.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and this
she's
is-
above you in the order.
Am I wrong?
She's above you in the order. We're not. The new round is starting now.
I fought back with the.
Oh, you fought back. Never mind. You're right. Go.
So
I'll
I
I
forgot
know
you
take
I'm
out
fought
the
back. I thought you
remaining
just
guy.
smashed a dude in the face. You're fine. Never
I
mind.
know
Forgive
I'm
me.
not part of combat, but my turn, I'll just be, the squeaky wheel, pushing it down the hallway.
Fighting off the prop master.
Get away!
What are you doing? I'm trying to save the art.
I'm saving this armor from the fire. Didn't you hear?
We're all in this crazy. I just imagine this that we're all big crazy
There's
fight, and then
this-
there's just a hard cut.
It's just
Running down.
trying not to touch it, like you accidentally like wing your left arm on something. You're like, fuck, and
Like a P.T. Anderson movie.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's exactly what happens. Is you're just wheeling it. You're trying to find the near. You're headed towards that backstage door.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that
that's
you got in the
if-
last time when you talked to Marco.
And if Marco's
Yeah.
still there, it's like I'm saving this from the fire. Go help. Anyway,
I have to save this dummy. So,
This stone artifact.
yeah.
It will definitely burn.
Get. You know what? Because I have to give you a reason to, or I have to hinder you in some way. Give me a strength roll.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, no!
Kelsey's greatest
So
weakness.
wrong. Yeah,
I'm not strong.
Old ladies
I'm
and strength
sexy.
checks.
Yeah, old women and strength checks.
I
Why do you
have
think I like
nowhere
old
enough
women?
luck to make that a success.
Oh no!
That was an 84.
Now we're gonna get back there.
Oh my
Kelsey's just
Christ.
gonna be like hard leaned into it. It's just not going anywhere.
It's gonna have fallen on him.
Head.
Oh god, I gave Rue an idea.
Okay, yep. Now I know. Yeah, so
We're not moving fast, in other words.
was it a regular success?
Oh god, no! I rolled an 84. My strength is a 35.
Yeah, but you spent luck, right?
No, I can't. I don't
Oh.
have enough luck to spend down.
Then yeah, you're just kind of like
You do have a reroll.
reroll. You have a
Oh,
reroll.
reroll. Reroll.
You're welcome.
It's even
Thank
worse.
you. Oh, that's
97.
even worse. That's 76. I will spend one more reroll.
Well, you got him. Gotta lose him.
Uh,
Can't
that's a
take them with you
94.
when you die.
There is, yeah. The fates are not
Not
with
meant to
moving
be.
So,
fast
yeah,
with this
you're-
thing.
You should not be
You're
touching
moving.
this thing. This is what they're trying to tell you.
yeah, you need to be very careful there. Left arm,
Mickey.
Mickey.
Ricky. What is your name, Kelsey? Left
Kelsey.
arm Haskins. But yeah, you're slowly maneuvering this thing, and like, yeah, Paolo Rashanti is like, what are you doing? And then you're like, I'm getting it away from the fire. That is clearly not a fire. There's no fire happening, but the people are still freaking out. Yeah, if you say something about fire pushing.
Well,
the
there were
arm-
gunshots.
there. Well, you could always just whip out your gun again and just like fire it and be like, go away.
Well, if he gets closer, the gun's. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. He's just
Tries to
like,
stop me. Guns coming
"Ah!"
out.
save yourself, and he runs off. Although you can't understand him because you don't
Save
speak
yourself.
Italian. You don't speak Italian.
Save-
So,
I have the gun. Whatever.
you don't know what he says. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, buongiorno.
Bye.
So yeah, but yeah, top of the round, Emily.
So the last henchman, I'm assuming, drew some sort of weapon.
He
as
has
well.
the one that is still up is the one with the knife that
Oh.
slashed at Cleo.
Oh well. I'll go ahead and draw the sword of the sword cane, and disarm him by removing his arm. Oh god, and
I'm
I'm rolling
going
really well on these. I rolled a natural 12, which is an extreme success.
Well, these dice that I'm using can't roll below a 73, so
We appreciate that.
it's consistently rolled a 70 every time. But yeah, so he does not dodge. You take a good old whack at the meaty joint of his shoulder. Go ahead and give me a damage roll on that.
Oh, it is 9 points of damage.
Okay, yeah, his arm is lifeless at his side. I'm not gonna say that it fell off, but it's definitely he's like ah, and it
We have an arm
hangs-
for that.
Would you like me to replace? Would you like me to replace your arm?
I've got a nice stone one.
I have a nice stone arm.
A nice
Have you seen the
evil stone
Avengers?
arm.
It will do nothing terrible to you.
You can't hurt your left arm anymore if I've already cut it off.
And she tries, I guess in German, or at her best attempt at Italian, to say, you should go.
You should go.
You should go.
go. You should go.
Or else.
You should go. You should go.
We all speak third best Italian.
Sorry,
It's an attempt.
That was a very specific reference to one of my
It-
favorite things in the world. So,
You love that movie too?
no.
Oh.
Do you should go?
Oh no. The third best Italian. Was
Oh,
a
no,
movie
yeah.
reference.
No. I don't know what movie that is. I probably haven't seen it because somebody told me to watch it.
Yeah, it's all right. Now she'll watch it.
What is it?
Inglorious Bastards.
That's what I thought
Oh,
it was.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
gonna watch it.
That's
Quentin
fair.
Tarantino is a.
Oh,
No, that's fair. It's
He's not.
Yeah.
He's not for me, guys. I'm sorry.
that's
Man.
understandable.
it's the only Tarantino I will watch over and over again.
It is a
So.
good Tarantino movie.
I mean, they kill Nazis. I mean, that's worth the price of admission.
Although Death Proof was a lot of fun too.
I haven't actually watched that.
Let's see here. This could have gone so differently. It's hilarious.
I mean, we
Like-
could have actually set the theater on fire.
You could have. You
There's
could
still
have. Yeah.
time.
No, just some of the descriptions they give. Cause anyway, so the henchmen have been
Disarmed.
dispatched in their own way. And then Faccia is screaming at Cleo for knocking him down. You are Cleo at this nearness and hearing what is not the voice that you would expect out of this man. You hear a lovely soprano voice of a 27-year-old Italian woman coming out of this older man. And he's screaming at you. Do you all? It's pretty much. I mean, combat is kind of dissolving. He is handled. The men are handled and dying. How do you want to handle Mr. Faccia at this point?
What is the old lady doing?
She is kind of sat down in one of the front row chairs. Because you guys hadn't even really gotten backstage yet. You were like making your way around the stage when this happened. If someone wants to stop and speak to her, I mean, you absolutely can. She's still kind of weepy, still kind of confused.
What does her voice sound like?
Like a 67-year-old man.
67-year-old dry-mouthed man.
Well, as the man as the man is shouting and screaming, those of you that are kind of, I guess I just need to know where you are. Where are you at? And like, as this combat dies down, where are you standing? Where are you? What are you doing? Yeah, Kelsey is still
Wheeling it
slowly
away.
wheeling the torso out through the backstage door. And I mean, you're really just kind of in line with everybody else that's streaming out the backstage doors. I mean, you hear people going, "I smell smoke! All this."
Did you see the flames?
The flames are licking at, the flames are licking at our heels, and Kelsey's out there going, "God, bunch of drama queens."
Flames on the side of my face.
I barely survived.
I am gonna go over to Cleo and like help her up a little, like keeping an eye on him.
Okay.
Oh, because Cleo's like, yeah, because it's like she pulled him down and she's like still on top of him. She hasn't moved.
Okay, and he's face down.
Unless she like, I mean, if she's able to flip him over, she will.
Okay, so flip him over. His chameleon is over there. His little jar of moths and butterflies has rolled away, and the chameleon is like focusing on it now. And then Emily, would you be going over to where the other girls are as well?
Yeah, probably. I gotta keep an eye out on Johanna.
Okay. So
What
as
she's
you,
gonna do.
the three of you are focusing on Faccia, the henchmen are dying. Suddenly the old woman screams, and she's like, screams. You hear a very raspy kind of sound come out of her, and she kind of makes her way towards the old man, and she actually attempts to kind of like push Cleo out of the way and reaches for his throat. Do any of
I'm
you
not
try
stopping
to
her.
stop her?
Nope. Just
Leo's
let her
like,
do it.
I'll help you.
Okay.
I mean, we may not be able to reverse it if she like murders him. Although I don't know how we would reverse it, but
We
Yeah.
might not be able to reverse it.
You might get an
I don't
extra
know.
medical
I'm
roll.
interested
Pretty
to
big
know.
might.
I'm interested to, I feel like the might is we, definitely aren't going to be able to reverse it. Period.
I am not a doctor.
Yeah.
but I am.
I know.
So yeah. Well, what the fuck? Sorry. Something just surprised me. Anyway, Kelsey is getting that out. She makes a very raspy sound, almost as though she doesn't have any vocal cords, but she does have. It does. Obviously, she's alive, so she does have lungs. But if you were to investigate a little further, like she starts like clawing at his shirt and tearing him open. I mean, he's pretty much incapacitated as far as he's awake, and he's like squeaking and screaming as she's throttling him. Almost as if you get the impression that she's almost trying to get her voice out of him.
We're
But yeah,
not going to get any answers if.
they both have scarring of the neck and of the on the chest. And give me an idea roll, because nobody said it yet officially.
It's a hard success.
Hard success.
Yeah, you get the impression that not only did he take her vocal cords, he took her lungs as well. So he has both of hers. And again, you are reminded of that belief that that is attributed to Verity, that if you sang the aria with the diva on the during or if you sang with the diva during the aria at Teatro alla Scala, that your most deepest wish would be granted. And his deepest wish was to get this piece of the thing. So that's what he's even talking about. He's like the statue.
Leo
The
just
statue, the
leans down
statue.
toward him and is like, have you heard the expression salt in a wound?
Oh, no.
And he's just like struggling again.
And she will rub salt into his wounds.
I'm going
Like
to
her
season,
like blessed salt.
I'm going to season you like a Christmas turkey. Herbs and
turkey.
salt right into his freshly stitched. Are you gonna snip 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 like you were talking about doing? Oh
Oh God.
jeez. As
I mean-
as the old woman is like strangling him, I'm gonna say that a couple of his stitches popped anyway. But not that I mean, I assume the brothers of the skin have ways to kind of supernaturally heal, but it is still a very fresh wound. So he screams in a very blood curdling soprano, and the old woman is
If we want to undo what he's done, we might need him alive.
I know. I'm not trying to kill him. And that she'll get up and probably
And
with Emily's help, like help
he
him
would
get
say,
up.
like, if he heard you say, if we want to undo, he's like, you can't undo what I've done.
Nobody
that's
asked
just
you.
Very bad news for you then.
And so by now the theater has cleared out for the most part, and you do hear a commotion at the back, like where people would come in, and a cursory glance upward, you will see that there are black shirts and presumably fire brigade-esque people coming to investigate the fire. Are you going to stay here with 3.5 dead bodies and an old man and a chameleon
An old lady.
and an old lady who is currently trying to throttle the old man? Actually, well, you've pushed her off now, and she kind of stumbled away.
Cleo, I think it's time for us to go out the back. Let her have him.
Well, we should. He can give us information.
What information do we need? We have what we came for.
Sure, fine.
No, you don't know that you have what you came for. This curtain.
You know what? If anyone's gonna steal something, it's gonna be Kelsey.
It's gonna be Kelsey.
It's like, I have full faith in your ability to abscond with things that I don't want you absconding with, and I want you absconding with this one, so it's gonna be even easier.
I know. I was just.
So okay. So, do you all agree to leave then? You leave the old people together. The rest
I
of you
don't
are
wanna-
like,
I don't
We
want to
would love
leave
to
this
introduce
poor
you.
old
we need
young
to
old
introduce you
lady.
to our friend Kelsey.
I know.
I have my standards. That's no.
She's not really 87.
No, she just looks like it.
Let's just take them both with us. Can you keep an eye on the old man? Here's a handkerchief that will
Cover his boo boo.
just cover his mouth. And a scarf. Just shove a handkerchief in his mouth and then put a scarf over it. Yeah, just be like, "Aw, Grandpa." And Emily will help the young old lady.
Sounds good. So I'm trying to see if there's a chance that you would know how to fix this.
No.
I mean, we may not be able to now.
You
but
have
we know some people.
You have a scroll that you've been looking at. So I was just trying to see. But yeah, I don't think you do. But yeah, so you all abscond. I would say that you would meet Kelsey outside.
Like 3
Going
feet
down the
from
street.
3 feet from where he was, like still trying to push the thing.
No. You've made it out out the back door, away from where the authorities had filed in. And I'm sorry, Ala. You said that you covered the old lady up. Or you covered the old
I'm
lady?
just helping her kind of
Get out of the place.
saying soothing mom words in
And you're taking her with you.
yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
We figured out the whole touching of it deal. We were talking about it a couple of sessions ago, the touching of these objects.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we've all touched the arm since, and it's been fine. It's just whoever touches it first.
Yeah.
Great. What if the old man touched it?
Well, but it's not in his possession. So as soon as you would take it away, it would go to whoever touched it first.
Okay. That was mine.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, absolutely. You could just be like, here, do you want it? And just like, stop hitting yourself, and just shove them into it.
That was the thought.
And then
I'd be like,
but
thanks.
as soon as you would then take it away,
Okay.
it would change. It has to do with who's taking ownership of it at that time. So, and unless you guys want to leave it, but that would be contrary to your purpose, I believe, at this point, which is to collect all the pieces.
Look, I've already gotten it this far.
I'm gonna even say, Kelsey, you've had the forethought to like try to flag down a cab to get out.
We had a car.
Oh, that's right, you had a car, so it's waiting out there.
Yeah, we're not
I would have gotten
peasants.
it if I had the time.
Well, I mean,
it
you
would've-
left quickly. I didn't know, so we'll just say that the car pulls around to look for you guys.
While
gotten in the trunk or
they're
something.
dealing with the old man and the old lady, and Kelsey's hailing a cab and prepping to put this thing in it, I'm going to look at it a little closely. Like, I want to see what's under the armor, and I'm positive that while doing that, I will touch it.
Okay, so
I can't imagine me not being able to.
as you lift the armor off of it,
You see my tux jacket around it.
yeah,
Well dressed. Oh,
I'm going
fancy.
to say that as you lift it up, yeah, your finger brushes the sculpted abs of this Cash Simulacrum.
Well, okay.
Woo!
He worked out.
Is this accurate?
Ew. such a large torso. We need to find the rest soon. No, I fucking hate this show. so much.
I like that you said it and you're like, "Ah."
The
You
thing is-
guys.
No, it was me. It was me. I hate what I do. I hate what I do. I hate who I am. The self-loathing pours off me. But yeah, you managed to get into the cab. Do you want to take Katerina home? You do know where she lives. You've met her maid Isabel.
Does she want to go home?
Absolutely. She's telling you, like, at some point when she was, like, throttling him, like, before she went to strangle him, she is telling you who she is and is begging you to remember. She's like, I remember you from the trade. And she's just very raspy.
We're like, honey, we figured it out.
Yeah, we know. We're here
We
to
know.
help you.
Did any of you keep the Ankh that you found in the back of the Alfa Romeo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
we got
probably
it.
would have
Sure.
pocketed it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably in our like hotel room though, but
That's
Oh
fine.
no, Kelsey pocketed it. It's probably still in his pocket
Yeah.
with all the other things he pockets.
But yeah, so I will just say, so would you like to take her home? She would love to go home.
That makes sense.
Yeah. She is aware that she is not going to be able to get her voice back.
or
uh,
youth.
or youth or any of it. I will also say that Fatia, as you know, having lost the torso and being kind of trampled by he only has young lungs and a young vocal cord, so he's probably not doing really well being left behind there. But yeah, she's accepted that she can't get back.
Didn't
what
we
she
take him with
lost.
us?
We brought him
Oh,
with
did you?
us.
Did you say
Yeah,
you
we
brought him
did.
with you?
Yep.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
okay. Well, then yeah. then
He's just poor grandpa. We're just taking him home, and then we're gonna beat the shit out of him.
Okay, okay. I missed that part. I apologize. So yeah. So you all pile into a cab. She is still pretty seething about him being so close, unless you threw him in the trunk.
Oh
But-
no, because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
statue's in the
Yeah.
trunk. I don't think
So
that's a
where's
good
the?
combination.
I mean, what's he gonna do with it?
I don't
He's-
know. He knows more
we
about it
can
than
tie
we
him
do.
up.
That is true. He does know shit.
He did just take the lungs and the voice box out of a lady. I don't really know what he can do, and I don't
Yeah,
want to find
no.
out.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's why. Ooh.
Does she know who else might have been involved?
Who, the woman?
Yeah.
She,
Yeah. Just
she mentions, so she recounts her tale of getting off after singing for you all and spending a lovely evening in her salon car. She disembarked at Milan on the morning of or on, I think it was midday actually, and she saw a patron of the opera, Mr. Flavio Conti, who invited her to drinks and lunch, and she was excited to see him because he had fallen very ill in recent months and weeks and had been they had believed that he'd had tuberculosis, and she did not anticipate seeing him upon her return to Milan. And so when she did, she was very excited to see him, and she accepted his invitation. He took her to a warehouse in the north side of Milan, where she also saw Mr. Arturo Faccia, and she was incapacitated, and she was, surgery was performed on her to extract her vocal cords and lungs, as well as Mr. Faccia's, and they were swapped. And then there was some ritual magic done she doesn't understand that was able to heal the wound relatively and reconnect everything as it was. And she was made to appear old and wizened so they wouldn't be able to. And it's just honestly the shock of that happening to her is what drove her to the break that you witnessed, where she was kind of sad and lost. Yes.
Hear old and wizened or be old?
She is
And
old
wizened.
and wizened. So
Okay.
yeah. So this is.
I was like, is this a glamour?
No, it's something. It's actually a spell called Control Skin that is able to.
Ew.
Of course, they have a spell called Control Skin. Yeah, that tracks.
Mhm. Yeah. And it has made her. So they. You know, no one would tell you this, but yeah, they have a spell that would transfer the organs, and then they have a spell that was able to manipulate her appearance to change her into what you see at the moment. And it did it cost her quite a bit of sanity to undergo all of that ritual procedure. So
Understandable.
yeah. So if you do take her home, you could also Fatia, if you wanted, you could interrogate Fatia at the. You could go to either his warehouse. She might even be able to tell you where the warehouse is. If you wanted to go there, you could take him back to your hotel room. Where do you guys want to go?
I think we go back to her house and talk to
Well,
him there.
Cultist Warehouse might give us some more information too.
But if you would like to drop her
a
off,
good place
at
to
her
murder him
place
too.
first, if you would like to drop her off first at her house, that would be great. We're probably
Yeah,
going to run just a little bit late tonight, guys. Not too long. We're winding down, but just want to give everybody a heads up.
We can, yeah, if she would rather, if she
would
really
love
wants to just go
she
home,
really wants to
let's
go
take her
see
home.
Isabel, and she's like, I don't know how I'm going to explain this to her, but you all seem to believe me. Please take me home. And it doesn't take too much to get Isabel to cotton on, but it's definitely shocking. But you do return her to safety. And because of that, I'm going to say that you get a one. Go ahead and roll a 1d4, and you can gain that back in sanity.
Yay! I got one back.
Here.
Sorry, y'all.
No, it's
I
okay.
met my cap.
Me too.
Nice. Emily never loses sanity. She's just like,
I just gained sanity. I'm saner now than I was after the war.
Great. Eldritch Horror is your therapy.
Yeah.
Honestly, yes.
She's like, men are far worse than.
She's like, I've seen worse.
Yeah.
She's
seen what men can do, like, or
Yeah.
people can do in general in a wartime situation, and it's pretty grisly. So
you then take Arturo Faccia to the warehouse. We'll say that between what she said and you're like, tell us where it is, and he I mean, there's nothing really for him to hide there. You have the torso. I'm sure one of you are able to manipulate him into some type of idea that he thinks that he might benefit from this.
Take us to the warehouse and we'll give you the torso.
Take us to the warehouse. Teach us your ways, oh wise brother of the skin. Teach us how we can use the torso.
I too have skin.
I too have skin.
we could be brothers.
So yeah, you take him into the warehouse. I assume you restrain him in some fashion. And do you question him or do you just end him?
So when we get him restrained, I'm going to pointedly look at Emily and then start talking nicely. And just ask him information about what happened, how he did it. And I'm going to lay on the thick charm.
Okay.
And then let Emily do, I don't know, Emily things.
So the tale that he tells you is he through interrogation and good cop bad cop, you determine that he is the leader of the Brotherhood of the Skin here in Milan. He actually studied under the old man, Makriot. And yeah, he's actually the age that he says he is. He actually is 67, but he does talk about having his bodyguard who is not with him. He actually does have a bodyguard, but Opera is way too high-minded for this bodyguard, and he was like, I'm not going. And so he doesn't go. It literally says that. The Opera is above him. So he doesn't go, but Benito is going to have a bad night when he realizes old man Faccia is not around. But he sent Benito to kill a man named Ennio. Spinola, I think is his name, and who you might remember there was a protest for because his body had not been returned to the family. They murdered him, stole his lungs, popped those babies into Flavio Conti, and promised him all the benefits of, essentially recruited him into the Brotherhood of the Skin, and recruited him to go get Caterina Cavallaro and bring her to this warehouse where they performed the other organ transplants, as you just as you rightfully deduced. And yeah, he he said, I want the simulacrum. I'm going to return it to its former glory. I'm going to reunite the pieces, and I've known it's here, and I finally had a chance to get it. And uh he says there's if you sing an aria, he basically recites the lore, which you can tell, like, with go ahead and give me, you don't have to, even without psych rolls, you can tell that this man absolutely 100% believes that if he singing that aria, that was granting his wish, and that is why the torso appeared when it did.
Well, just gonna slap him across the face and remind him that you can just sing along and not take someone's lungs.
But well, yeah, but he had old, dry and withered lungs, and he wanted to,
I slap him one more time for good measure.
Okay. Ugh.
With a
He's an
nice
old man.
firm hand.
Give me a damage roll on that brawl.
That's where Emily
You might
kills
not
him.
survive it if I actually roll, so
Do it.
it is a controlled slap.
You said you did it. Do it. Okay.
It's a controlled slap.
We can say it's not.
It's only 6 points of damage.
Only 6 points of damage.
Only 6
To, like, a
points of
cheek.
damage.
Yeah. Wait, break his cheekbone.
Oh, zygoma. Shatter.
You didn't need it anyway.
Did you guys bring his pet chameleon? He's probably distraught if his chameleon buddy isn't with him.
I don't
Oh, no,
think
we
we
forgot
thought
the
of picking
chameleon.
it up. Yeah.
We
Well,
had
he,
bigger
like-
things.
He ran off to chase the mothballs or whatever, or the
Yeah,
moths.
the moth jar.
moths.
They were
The moth
mothballs.
jar.
They were
I know, I'm sorry.
literal
The
moths.
moths in a jar.
I need to read this because sorry. Guys, this is a peek behind the curtain. I like to give my players a bunch of, like, side information that they're never going to learn otherwise after it doesn't matter anymore. But I wanted to see what this said.
The
We'll look at
chameleon
it
is
after
actually
this.
very important.
He is completely non magical, but he is important to one of the spells. So that is one of the reasons that Faccia does keep him around. But yeah, he kind of tells you what it is, and he's like, and he is mad enough, like insane enough, that he doesn't even really recognize that he's in danger right now.
Good.
He is absolutely, he's like, I cannot be killed. I'm a brother of the skin.
That
heard
didn't
that
work for
before.
Conti.
Conti was but an initiate. He wasted his gift. He wasted his gift. He sounds like a 27-year-old Italian woman. Sorry.
I don't think we're gonna get anything else out of him. and
I
I'm
have
tired
more
of listening to
questions.
him.
I want to ask about Mehmet Makriat. There were 3 of them that died in London.
Mehmet? He's
That's what my-
he's a disappointment. If he's dead, he's dead. Good.
But there were 3 of him. All with the same name. Do you know what happened there?
Okay, give me a fast talk or charm or whatever you're using.
We're gonna charm. It's a regular success.
He just kind of scoffs and he's like, I mean, maybe because you have not seen the full benefit of being a part of the Brotherhood, but having others appear as you can be useful.
But Mehmet was a full member, correct?
Mehmet is the founder's son.
And he died.
Who, the founder?
No, Mehmet. Thrice.
If you say so, I have not seen Mehmet in many years. He seeks
I'm just
his.
wondering if you're so assured of your immortality.
How do you know that they were not three doubles? I made the woman look as she did. Do you think I could? So another one that is well trained in the arts could not make others look however they wanted. Have you never used a forged document before?
Why would I do that?
You there, American? You seem like you've probably used forged documents often.
You look like the cut. You like the type.
Look at Cleo talking to me.
How else? How else would a country as fine as Italy allow scum like Americans into their lands?
Well, they're in my employ. You have to get their papers right. Yeah, that was it. That I just wanted to ask questions about Mehmet. I think we should test his theory.
Of immortality?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yes, that's an excellent suggestion. Would you like to do this, Mr. Haskins, or should I?
Oh no, Mr. Haskins already rolling dice. He's gonna shoot him
I'm
right
just
in
saying,
the
I'm ready.
head.
We can go to. Are you wanting to use your sword or are you wanting to shoot? Because we both can shoot.
He's not worth the blade.
All right, let's both. You still have a gun, don't you?
I mean,
Let's both shoot.
there's also the idea that you could just leave him there
Nah.
to be immortal and be strapped to a fucking chair forever.
As
the
poetic
cultist
as
warehouse?
that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
In his warehouse.
That's how cultists escape and haunt you later.
Yeah, yeah.
That's I learned that the hard way in the last campaign. That's a 49, so that's a regular success.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me damage. He can't
That's
dodge or
7.
fight back.
7.
Okay. Yeah, he cackles maniacally as he bleeds. And he kind of he mumbles the same shit about, a brother of the skin lives forever. One way or another, we live forever.
Okay, see you later then.
Are there any accelerants in this warehouse?
The
No. No.
the wounds on his chest,
Sorry.
we can see now, right?
Oh, absolutely.
scars?
Yeah. And when she was like clawing at him earlier, like it kind of like tore his shirt open, and yeah, you can see that he's had the lungs. He's got the similar scarring to Flavio Conti, but his also has a scar right up here where the voice box would be. I mean, for all intents and purposes, he is incapacitated and dying.
Sure.
There's no medical help for him at this point, and as far as you can tell, because Flavio Conti was allowed to die, or died, and perhaps Mehmet Markriat also died. Yeah, you have not seen that they have any kind of supernatural healing abilities. Even with the healing to kind of seal up whatever has been done to them to some degree, it is a ritual. And he even referred to it as such, that it's a ritual, and you would assume that him being strapped to this chair, bleeding out, he's not going to have the ability to perform any kind of ritual. He has no help.
I assume we tied him to a chair of some sort. I want to
That's what I was seeing. Yeah,
I'm
nobody. I
gonna
don't think
push the chair over so he's on his side or his back, and then help Emily look for some accelerants.
Look, we're gonna be extra thorough, and he's a piece of shit, so...
Okay. You're actually going to try to start a fire. Okay, go ahead and give me some search rolls, some spot hidden.
Yeah, Cleo was just really early on that call.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to be extra sure. We don't want cultists coming back for whatever reason.
I'm pretty sure we're in a warehouse. I'm not sure about much beyond that, though.
I mean,
While
with
they're
this-
doing that, Cleo's going to be checking his body and also checking the warehouse for potentially anything that shouldn't burn if they're going to burn down the warehouse.
That's a solid point. Yeah. Good on you.
Now, is this warehouse like in an isolated location, or if we set a fire, are we going to burn down a bunch of other people's property?
You're so it's in the northern side of Milan, so you're out kind of in the industrial area. The Alfa Romeo plant factory is not too far. This is an empty warehouse that Faccia owns that is pretty empty. This is just where he does his
Okay.
his
Weird
his
science.
his eldritch business. Yeah,
Okay.
weird science. So as far as accelerants go, there's really not a whole lot. I mean, there's no like gasoline or anything anywhere. There are not things that are needed. It is dry and dusty. You figure that you could find some scraps of wood and probably start a fire pretty easily. But
Not
as
any
far as
alcohol or anything.
I
mean
mean, I
surgery?
have my.
Mm.
It's not a lot.
she has a
I
fire.
haven't had a chance to buy dynamite yet, so we're just gonna
Yeah.
make do what we can find.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not a whole lot here. If
I mean, if we don't want, if we don't need to burn this down, we could always, excuse me, Emily, we could always use your sword to remove his head and just kick it in the river.
Yeah,
This is my military saber. I earned this through combat and distinction, and it will not sully it with this man's blood.
Help
go
him
ahead,
not
give
set
me
in a
give me
fire.
one more spot hidden roll. And if somebody can get an exceptional success, I'll say that you can find some accelerants. so you can start your little fire.
This seems like a job for Haskins.
Nuts.
I can spend 1 luck to get an exceptional success.
I rolled a 56, so I'm not even
Okay.
close to it.
So spending that 1 luck, I'm going to say that Johanna goes out to have a smoke around back, and she finds under a canvas, she finds some paint thinner and some kind of chemical that she can then she's like aha, and just like acetone, and she just like brings it in and just
Yeah, does
Here you
anybody
go,
have
Emily.
a lighter?
Sorry.
does this work? For being horribly scarred in a fire, Emily's just like, let's burn everything. Don't have issues
It
with that.
was chemical warfare, and
Oh, okay, that's right.
Oh,
That's
that's
right.
right.
It's different.
different. But I mean, it's still bad, but yeah.
Okay. Well, so I'm gonna say that you guys are able to, and he just laughs and he says, "Sure."
He's still not
As he
dead
bleeds
yet.
out. As he bleeds out.
It's like that guy in
He's not dead yet.
Not Dead Yet.
Not dead yet.
I got better.
But yeah, you're able to. I assume, do you put it around him, or do you just put it around like the entire structure? Because I mean, if you go around the outside of this small warehouse, you will be able to bring it down on him.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
What would you like to do, Emily? I see you thinking. Do you?
Well, I want to be extra, I want to be thorough that he's dead. But bringing this whole place down is probably like a good cleansing thing or whatever Cleo would say. So.
You can also douse him in paint thinner too.
Oh yeah.
He screams as it goes into his bullet wound. Ah!
Amazing.
And chest wounds, like somebody's already rubbed salt in them.
Yeah. And his vocal cord wounds.
Ew.
All right, yeah. So you set it ablaze and you watch it burn for a little bit, and you get in your car with your driver and you return with the torso to your room.
Jarvis like, what the shit?
Hey, Roxy.
Yeah.
We did just burn a dude to death.
Yeah, give me some sanity rolls.
Yeah. I feel bad, but man, that'll teach me. I failed.
So we were rolling sanity rolls for burning the dude, but me just cold-blooded shooting him, we're cool with that.
There's a difference. There really is a difference.
There's a difference, yeah.
No, I know. Yeah, I failed it. The cold-blooded killer that I am.
They'll fine.
Yeah, give me
Success.
Okay. For those of you that succeeded, you lose a D3. For those of you who did not succeed, you lose a D6.
Okay.
Not too bad.
No,
You
it's
guys
not too
have done
bad.
some. I mean, you basically killed 3 guys back at the opera house too.
Yeah, I'm still like 6 points away from temporary insanity. I'm fine.
Well, I mean, it's only temporary insanity if you lose more like within the next 12 hours.
Right.
So just don't do anything shady. until you get on that train tomorrow.
No guarantees.
So you get back to your hotel room. Do you
At
bring the
long
torso?
last.
Do you bring the torso up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we
Yeah.
should leave it unattended.
Okay. Um, it doesn't matter who touches it at this point. It is heavy as fuck. So go ahead and give me it. Well, I'm not gonna say it's heavy as fuck. It is heavier.
We let
So
Emily carry it. It's
Emily,
fine.
this is an Emily roll. It actually said earlier if you wanted like to take it off of the mount that it's on is a hard success, a hard strength roll. So
We
probably
kinda need to get
Emily
it-
is the only one that could have even lifted it off the mount.
Well, yeah, because I mean, the mount's not going to fit into the thing that we had built.
No.
So, you guys take it upstairs. You did have forethought, and you did tell the luggage makers to prepare inner boxes that would accommodate approximately the other parts of this statue.
Approximately a large human size.
Yeah, so if this is the size of the left arm, just kind of figure out how the other arm is going to be kind of the same. The leg
We
is going to
left
be a
that
little
shop,
bigger.
and they're in the back, like prepping, and
What
the
the
one person
fuck?
turns to the other's like, this is for storing dead bodies, right? Yeah, don't care.
Don't care. They pay really well. And so you have one that's pretty appropriately sized for a torso. I will say, Cleo, you perform the necessary rites and rituals, and there's the same kind of procedure that we did for the left arm when we put it in the box. And so you have magically sealed it, but again, that influence has already transferred to Johanna, who just experiences you assume it's from the heaviness of the day and all the activity. You feel a little just your stomach is a little off. Nothing major.
We just burned somebody to death. I'm sure that my
Yeah,
stomach's a little
it
upset.
kind of
Yeah.
turned your stomach a little bit. You have just a wave of nausea that recurs throughout the evening. But yeah, the next day your train is set to leave at 1:20. I assume you are all going to be on that train tomorrow.
Yes.
So you all return to the station. You have probably Emily load in this heavy fucking trunk that now has two parts of this. Emily and a porter are able to get it into the room. The last time Kelsey tried to move any part of that statue, he winged his arm like 6 times because he's getting clumsy in his old age. But yeah, you're
35.
feeling after the shooting last night, Kelsey, and climbing down the ladder and climbing up the fire escape and all of that. You are feeling every one of your 33 years or 35 years in your left arm. It's very stiff and achy and like almost arthritic in your left hand. So
Oh no, not my hand.
yeah, it's not good.
That's
It's
his looting hand.
That's not Luton hand.
Are you a lefty? I assumed it was your right hand, but
Well, I mean,
your
you
left
kind of when
hand
you're
is
picking a lock, you're
yeah. But
doing both.
it's definitely hitting your hands, and we may deal with that in the off season. That you might have some penalties associated with that.
Okay.
But yeah, don't touch the right arm, babe.
No.
Just good good tip. But yeah, so you get on the train. As the train pulls out of the station at 1:20 p.m. sharp, you guys don't know this, but Milan immediately feels lighter. That influence is taken away. The sky shines a little bluer in January. The clouds roll away. It's cold, but it's a pleasant cold. And the Opera House did not burn down. And, all was... But some weird warehouse on the north side of town, it did. 2 days after, like, as you're traveling, you would get of course the Orient Express has all the papers with all the news, and you do find a article recounting the death of one Mr. Arturo Faccia, who was found burned and mutilated in a bizarre warehouse fire that at one of his warehouses. And
Any word
someone
in the
actually
paper?
calls it the it is impossible. What does this say? Oh, never mind. Never mind. You guys burned him in a place.
Do we
And
ever see
yeah.
anything in the papers about Conti? Did they ever discover his body?
Oh yeah, but it's like a small. I mean, it's
Okay.
just it's a death in Milan.
From a bullet. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, from a bullet wound.
It's a
In a
bullet.
lung transplant. Yeah, no.
Just a casual. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Just a casual murder.
Happens every
No,
day
yeah.
in Milan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this warehouse burns down. Arturo Faccia, though, his body is found mutilated and stuck up on top of the cathedral, and it's very strange. And
What?
What?
I'm just telling you what the article says. His mutilated body was discovered late yesterday by workmen on the roof of our cathedral. An official at the diocese stated it is impossible for anyone to get up there. This is the devil's work. So his burned and mutilated body was found atop the cathedral at Il Duomo.
I did not do that. That is not my shtick.
That is why it merited a newspaper article. But yeah, I can give you guys this handout next year. Signor Faccia was a widower without children. He had recently returned from a business trip to Turkey.
Oh.
Milan police would not describe the wounds sustained, repeating merely that they seem the work of a deranged degenerate. Residents of the city are warned to exercise caution.
I'm not deranged.
Yeah. We're not degenerates.
Well, I don't think that was all us.
Something happened.
I mean,
Yeah.
it could be our vampire friend. Or not vampire friend.
Definitely not a
Mr.
vampire.
Count Finlick.
Compt.
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 Yeah.
This is
So,
German. You gotta
with
get it
that,
right.
you all ride off into the sunset towards, where are we going? Where's next?
I don't know. You've got the map.
My book's
Florence.
over. My book's over.
Florence? Yeah, Florence.
Florence.
Not Florence. The one with all the canals. Venice.
Venice.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sorry.
lovely.
No, I
It's
need
a lovely
I need
place.
a different book.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
so we're
finished-
like half-ish way through.
we're halfway through, guys.
Wow.
We were
Yes.
productive.
So
We
half
were-
of the game is January 19th.
The way y'all played it, yeah.
Most of season 2 is
I mean,
January 19th.
Lausanne is one day.
Yeah.
They expect you to only be there one day, so you were only there really one day. So yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, thank you all for being here tonight. Sorry we went about 17 minutes over. I hope you
real-
had fun. Yeah.
Real quick, tomorrow is the penultimate episode for season 1
Penultimate.
of The Fall of
The Guild-
Victoria over on Quiet Gentleman Entertainment. So come out for that.
Absolutely.
Our adventurers have found themselves 523 years in the future, and they're not quite sure how to get home.
Yeah.
So yeah, come for our
Rarely.
D&D
When that
adventure. It'll be fun times.
Yeah, when that happens to me, I never know how to get home.
Yeah,
It
no,
happens to me
it's
there.
yeah, there's not real maps for that.
so
Google's
does-
just like, I don't know.
Since this is our season finale, does anybody else have anything they would like to shout out, point to, where we can find you if you want to be found? Otherwise, it's just the Discord. Like I said, we do have a show on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, Post-Apocalyptic Jukebox. And then on Wednesday, we have Alien. I don't remember the name of the module for this one. Heart of Darkness. So if you're into Alien and you enjoyed our previous one, which was, I don't remember. It was the previous one was great. Rev is a great GM. Rev, you're in chat. We love you. Always a joy to have you on the channel and to have you in chat following along with us and posting GIFs. If you are not a part of our Discord and you are looking for wild friends to sit and chill out with when times are slow and you're just looking for somebody to talk to, come and join us on our Discord. You can actually discord.gg/rookandrasp will get you right to us. And we have a good time there. We're always looking for people to play games offline, online. We like to talk about books and music and podcasts and fitness, kind of, and lots of food and lots of drink. And I like to talk about hookah. And we have
Yep, me too. I
yeah,
like
and
that
Matt,
stuff.
and we have like a tarot place for like esotericism and stuff like that. We do all the things. We appreciate all the things, and we love you. And we thank you so much for joining us tonight. I have to send out a special thank you and love yous to all of my wonderful cast, Ala, Alyssa, Matt, Sean. Thank you for continuing to play with me. We will be back in sometime in probably late winter in 2023. I'm going to wait. We will not be starting back up in January. I need a little bit of time to just adjust to some things. But yeah, I
Plus a
love you
whole other
guys.
book to read.
A whole other book to read. So I'm excited. We are coming. Ooh, big bang. But yeah, join us when that happens. Like I said, join the Discord. You'll know when everything happens. Join our Twitter, Facebooks, all the things. We love you guys. Be safe. Happy holidays if you celebrate. If not, just be safe. Stay warm and enjoy your December. Love you and good night.
Bye.
Cthulhu.